Welcome one, welcome all to the PBE Season 47 Semifinals. Hope you all are doing excellent today. I am your host for today's stream, AJay887, and I am joined once again by the wonderful, illustrious co-host that is Chadwick. Chadwick, how are you doing today?
Good evening, AJ, and good evening, everybody out in the stream.
Good evening indeed. So semifinals are here for Season 47. It doesn't feel like Season 47 should be ending as soon as this Saturday, but it sure is. So we're going to jump right on into it. We're going to do a quick, in case you haven't seen a semifinal stream before, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing quick sims for every game up until there is an elimination game in a series. Once that happens, we will be streaming every single game of that series until a victor is decided, which means this is potentially a 16 streamed game stream if one team goes up 3-0 in every single series, and then we get a game 7 in every single series. That is hopefully not going to happen because that would take a long time, but it is a possibility. So we're going to get right on into it. We're going to do a quick preview of the lineups for all the teams, just in case, for the majors anyway, on this first day. Minors will be the next sim day. Just in case any GMs out there are noticing anything wrong with their lineups from their lineup cards, so that you can take a look at your lineups and make sure that everything looks correct before we get on into game number one. But here we have the Sloths versus the Aviators. This is the... let me turn off BNN first as well. Make sure that is...
Yes. Good idea.
Here we have the Sloths versus the Aviators. This is the Legends Conference Finals. We have two teams that performed upsets in their first round. The Sloths beat the number one seeded Toronto Pathfinders 3-1 in the quarterfinals. They're coming in as the number 4 seed in the Legends with a 53-55 record. Meanwhile, OBX beat Providence 3-0 in the quarterfinals, the number 2 seed. The Aviators come in at 58-50 on the win-loss this season, the number 3 seed in the Legends Conference. So any quick preview thoughts for this matchup here, Chadwick, before we head on over to the other side?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go to the pitching side. Quest versus Heinemann is a pretty top-tier matchup there, so will be interesting.
Yeah, we'll be seeing that in game number 1. Again, we'll be doing just the box scores until we actually have an elimination game. So we won't be viewing this matchup right away, but we might see it later on in the night. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, we have the Lunar-based Space Rangers and the Indianapolis Apex. Now, the Apex are the number 1 seed in the Champions Conference with the best record in the PBE, tied with the Toronto Pathfinders at 70-38. So they will have the home field advantage for this one. They beat Nashville 3-1 in the quarterfinals in order to get here. Meanwhile, Lunar Base had to make it in via the wild card. They're the number 3 seed in the Champions Conference with a 65-43 record, and they beat the number 2 seed Cancun in the quarterfinals 3-1 in order to make it back to the semifinals. Any thoughts on this one, Chadwick, before we head on over to the quick sims?
Yeah, no, both teams had great seasons, so it's a pretty solid matchup, just like the first one. I think it should be exciting.
It should be indeed. So I'm not seeing any pings from the playoff channel, which means I think we should be good to go ahead and quick sim these first games. Now, we won't be showing the minor league lineups just yet because they're still on the last game of the quarterfinals. So once we advance the day, then we'll probably see the matchups appear for the minor league semifinals. But Sloths versus Aviators, game number 1. Johnny Quest versus Adam Hangman. You want to take the box score for this one, Chadwick?
I shall.
All right. Game number 1 will go to...
And Sloths versus Aviators is all an aerial assault, with the Outer Banks Aviators winning 10-0 in a one-hit game. Wow. This will be very interesting to see the pitching score there. Outer Banks certainly had the bats going. Henry, 2 for 5 with 4 RBI at the top of the order. Donuts right behind him going 3 for 3. And then the bottom of the order is where the rest of the work was done. Denstro, the catcher, going 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. And McDaniel going 2 for 4 with 3 RBI. and he had a triple there, it looks like. Not much going on. Who got the one hit for the Sloths? Congratulations to Don Marcus, for breaking up the no-hitter, I guess, right?
Yeah, they did get 5 walks.
We avoided a Don Larson situation with a postseason no-hitter. But Heyman, more than likely your player of the game. He is there in the bottom there. 8 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts. Then Crawford came in to get the last 2 outs of the game. Johnny Quest had a rough outing, 8 runs given up in 2 2/3. But the rest of the bullpen settled down. Abel came in and threw 3 1/3 shutout innings. So yeah, all Aviators, game 1.
All right, Aviators will take an early lead. Let me go ahead and update the crawler too real quick before we continue on here. There we go. So Sloths and Aviators, if you have changes to make for game number 2, please let us know in your channels. Even if you're good, just let us know. Just be like, we're good, thanks, and we'll be able to move on a little bit quicker. Lunar Base Space Rangers versus Indianapolis Apex both won their quarterfinal series 3-1. We'll see which one has the momentum to carry them into game number 1 win of the semifinals. Man O'Wright versus Beauregard Rove. Game number 1 for the Champions Conference Finals is going to go to the Indianapolis Apex, who lead the series now 1-0 after a 10-5 victory. 4 runs in the 8th for both teams. Some late scoring action there. It was 6-1 heading into that 8th inning. It would have been funny if there was if it was a grand slam for both, but it was not. 3 RBIs for D. Fernandez, the first baseman. I go ahead and save game real quick. 2 RBIs for Jutha the Jew, the series MVP of the quarterfinals. And 2 RBIs for Gabriel Catcher Scudder, all on the side of the Apex. For Lunar Base, 2 hits and an RBI for Chains and Morgan. Then we have Mano Wright taking the loss, Beauregard Rove getting the win. Williams gained their first save of the postseason, and D. Fernandez will be your player of the game. So let me go ahead and adjust the crawler for this one as well. So both home teams getting the win in game number 1 here of the semifinals.
With 10 runs, too. Matching
with 10 runs. Yeah. Lunar Base put up a little bit more of a fight than the Sloths did against these teams, but anything could happen in games 2 through 7, you know. So game 1, though,
because you lost game 1. It's important, but it's not a death wish or anything.
Absolutely. So we'll see what happens in the rest of these series, but already a strong start for both the Aviators and the Apex. All Majors teams, if you have changes to make for game number 2, please let us know. As mentioned, nothing going on in the minor leagues today. It's the last game of the quarterfinals, so go ahead and advance the day. It's going to be a travel day. I'm just going to check the schedule for the minor leagues, make sure that they are matching up correctly here. California versus... that is not the correct matchup, I don't think. Enoch?
Let's see here, yeah.
Should be it should be California versus Anchorage is what I have. Because Anchorage had the number 1 seed. Like they won the head-to-head against Kansas City. So that's not right.
Right.
I know we can change this. I just don't remember how. So where's Enoch?
There we go. They just pinged Enoch for us. Thank you. Can you go into commissioner mode? Yeah, and you should be able to view the playoff bracket. Where? Oh, here we go. All right, Enoch is aware of the situation now, so maybe we'll see him. Oh, he said he messed it. Oh, it messed up. Oh, I don't know what he said. Let's see. The messages are coming thick and fast. Here we go. I figured he'd come in. Enoch, save him.
Enoch. You're live on stream, so be aware of things.
I forgot about this.
Yeah.
That is a good question. because the Hepcats and the Wheelers were supposed to play a game 109 in this little theory. But it's supposed to be, I guess it's supposed to be Mingo's Hepcats. I don't know.
If it's head-to-head matchup for the first seed, then
Yes, yes, it actually should be. It actually should be Wheeler's.
Firehawks.
Yeah, it should be the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah, so Firehawks in the.
I like how nobody. I like how nobody said anything in like the last 24 hours.
Well, we didn't advance. The day wasn't advanced because the last day of the quarterfinals.
Well, I know there was an offline file. You know, like.
Oh.
I mean, no minors GM looked at it.
Well, it probably wouldn't have been on the schedule because.
No, they have to. No, it wouldn't have been. But okay, so this is what you need to do. Let's go to MILBE first. Go to that and go to. Oh wait, I'm looking at the stream. Why am I looking at the stream?
Yeah, look at the.
Like, why are you doing
pull up the screen share?
You're a little behind.
I'm like, all right, give me a second. Myself sorted here.
MILPB League
All right,
Saves,
while you're
maybe?
doing that, Nazbase says didn't even get to a stream game, and the Chaos mod is already on overdrive.
Of course it is. This is residual chaos mod. So
Yes.
I think I remember we did.
go to go to stats and AI. Actually, I'm sorry. Go to options. Go down. Scroll down on the right hand side. Right hand side. Edit matchup playoffs.
Edit playoffs. There we
Yeah,
are.
All right. So here's the thing: is that if you do this, it will move everything back a day. But we have no choice. It wouldn't. I don't think it would have mattered either way.
Okay.
But yeah. So
Should be
round matchup. Oh wait, why is it all messed up there?
should be California, Anchorage, and then Florida, KC now.
Yeah. Why is that completely messed up? Okay.
That's what I was wondering.
Wow. Okay. That's even messed up more than I thought. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So matchup one. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at this again when the Miners World Series comes up. But that's fine. We'll have to reschedule everything during that time, anyways. So just change the Flamingos to Hepcats.
Wheelers, right?
I mean Wheelers. Yes, I'm sorry. And then change.
This would be...
And then change
be
that
Florida,
to
KC.
Flamingos.
Here we go. Or we could have the Anchorage host both teams.
We can do that too. Okay, confirm and reschedule games, and it will very likely push everything back one day. I believe that's what it does. So go.
No, it's
Is that correct? There will be tomorrow.
Florida, KC.
Yeah, it's moved them to tomorrow.
California,
Yep.
Anchorage. Yep.
All right.
Well, they were already on tomorrow.
So
This is
here's
already
so here's what you really need to look for later on. The majors is going to end before the minors. Almost guarantee it now.
Yeah, that was going to happen anyway. This was
It's
scheduled
probably going to
for
happen. So there's a chance it's going to happen. Now it's more than just a chance.
Yeah.
So by the time Game 5 rolls around, once the majors is done, you gotta keep an eye out and just don't delete the series from the majors. Just delete each game as needed. Okay. Do not delete the series. It will.
Yeah, I might need your help with that later on.
Just I guess ping me.
Will do.
All right. Have fun, folks.
All right. Thank you, Enoch.
Thanks, Enoch. Well, there we go. That was probably maybe not a first, right? But
no, it was
certainly
definitely
entertaining.
This has definitely happened before. I think the problem is that the index might be screwy now, like with the history.
Sure.
I think the previous time that we did this, like the semifinals and the finals, just didn't appear on the index in the history and still doesn't.
They want to
Majors
double
should
check
not be
that
affected.
the majors are still good. Yeah.
Majors should not be affected. I mean, it's a separate league, so it wouldn't be impacted. All right, so as mentioned, it's a travel day for the minor league teams, so we'll go ahead and continue with Game 2 of the conference finals for the majors. We do have changes to make those.
We do, yeah. The Aviators are good. I can
Apex
tell you that.
See overall pitcher stamina. You have Beauregard Rove in the red. They just started. Stun Guns in the yellow. And if Eddie wanted to see Bubbles, Bubbles is 100% rested. Mason Williams at 49%. Everyone else is in the green or better. So Apex, if you have changes, let us know. Aviators are good.
The Space Rangers do have changes for you.
Have the sloths said anything? I didn't see their chat.
No. So yes, Sloss, if you're good, just please let us know. I don't see anything from you as of now. Let me double check.
Evan, Dr. Green, Marcel,
No.
Middle Relief.
So it's Lumo if you're around.
And that to normal. Buzz Lightyear is good. Okay. Alright, Space Rangers. That should be correct. Let me know if I missed anything or if you have any additional they give you a thumbs up. Okay.
Good.
They're
The
all
Apex
good.
are good too.
Last chance, Sloths. Lumo's typing.
He is very good.
No changes all series. Okay, never mind then. We'll just ignore the Sloths chat. Alright.
I forgot they do like that strategy, just letting it ride.
They do.
All right.
Not as much as the Wheelers do, but they do. They do. Wheelers, I don't think I've acknowledged the last two, like, hey, heads up messages for the semifinals streams. Anyway, conference finals, Legends Conference, game number 2, Chadwick, the Sloths versus the Aviators. Ready to see the box score for this one?
I am, and so is everybody else.
All right. Go ahead and take it away.
All right, it is you to save there. It will be a 2-0 lead now, as the Aviators will walk it off in the bottom of the ninth. Let's see. Looks like a solo home run off the bat of McNeely for a game-winning home run. How about that for drama? A walk-off home run. Looking at the game here, Harper went 2 for 4 with an RBI. McNeely had that home run there that won the game, and then 2 hits at the bottom of the order from Dinstro and McDaniels. For San Antonio, well, they doubled their hit total. They went from 1 hit to 2 hits, which is good. So, no RBI there. Hits from Lanikai and Slamdolf. Pitching-wise, it's going to be both starters getting in a non-decision, including Stryker, who went 8 2/3. Did not get a win. That's crazy. Only gave up 1 run, not earned, 7 Ks. Psyduck, another great start. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, 9 Ks. Your winning pitcher is going to be Maurer out of the pen, pitching that 1/3 of an inning. And then Kamuro takes the loss, giving up 1 run in 1 inning. Your player of the game is Ryan Stryker Jr., the non-decision for OBX.
And this is wild that the Outer Banks pitchers have, in 18 innings, limited the Sloths to 3 hits.
Yes,
over the first 2 games.
Yeah, that is something. The whip on that staff is, low.
It's something else. Wow. Aviators take a 2-0 lead in the series. We'll see if Indianapolis can follow their lead or if Lunar Base will tie this one up in game number 2 of the Champions Conference Finals. Allegra Macarena to the mound versus Bubbles for the pitching. Will Indianapolis take the 2-0 lead? Let's find out. Game number 2 of the Champions Conference Finals. We'll go to the Indianapolis Apex. It is a 2-0 lead in both Champions Conference Finals, as the Apex win this one 7-4, 11 hits to 8. RBIs, Judah the Jew with 4 of them, going 2 for 5 on the day. D. Fernandez with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. On the side of Lunar Base, Doug and Eminem gets 3 hits at the top of the order. Blair Boyne gets 2 hits and an RBI. Indianapolis, the pitcher, takes a loss in the blown save against Indianapolis. Sim McAllis Jr. gets the win. Ortiz the save. Judah the Jew is your player of the game. Both starting pitchers, no decisions, but a quality start for both of them. So Indianapolis, the Apex take a 2-0 lead in the series. And we have 2 O's in both Champions Conference semifinals. So, both conference finals. I don't know why I said Champions Conference semifinals. That was weird. So we'll go ahead and advance the day, since it will be a travel day or a rest day for the minor leagues, since they just finished up their quarterfinals the day before. Advance the day. And now we enter in the travel day for the Majors. So Majors GMs, if you have changes to make, please let us know for game number 3. In the meantime, we finally have our game 1 matchups for the minor league semifinals. First up, we have the Florida Flamingos versus the Kansas City Hepcats. With Wade Williams Jr. on the mound for game number 1 versus Tony Ziegler. Florida comes in as the number 3 seed with a 62-46 win-loss. They beat the Dillos 3-1 in the quarterfinals to get here. They are the reigning World Series champs, but they come in without the home field advantage in the semifinals here against the Kansas City Hepcats, who had that first round bye for taking the number 2 seed in the regular season this year. 65-43 win-loss for Kansas City. Any thoughts on this matchup, Chadwick, before we head on over to the other one?
Yeah, and Florida, obviously, like you said, the defending champions. We'll see. They're on the road here, right? So I know last year they had a crazy home road split. I think they were like really good on the road, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I'd have to remember in my head. We have to look that up. But yeah, should be a good series.
Absolutely. We'll find out who wins game number 1 of that one momentarily. As we take a quick preview of the other minor league semifinals, the Anchorage Wheelers versus the California Firehawks. Wheelers have the first round bye as being the number 1 seed coming into this 65-43 record. Beat Kansas City in the head-to-head to claim that number 1 seed. Both teams with the first round bye, though. Anchorage lost to Chicago in the semifinals last season, so they'll be looking for a little bit of redemption in the semifinals this season around. Meanwhile, California beat that very same team, Chicago, 3-2 in the quarterfinals this year, so Anchorage probably a little happy that they don't have to face Chicago again in the semis this year. They face off against California instead, who's the number 5 seed at 54-56 win-loss record. They missed the playoffs last season, but they eked it in just in time this season, and they made it to the semifinals as well. So big run for the California Firehawks so far. We'll see if they can continue that all the way into the World Series. Old school playoff rivalry indeed, California versus Anchorage. Any thoughts on this matchup, Chadwick, between these two teams? Looks like the head-to-head is pretty stacked in favor of Anchorage here.
I'd say it's pretty stacked there. So that means the opposite could happen, right? You never know.
That's true. We'll see what happens. But game number 1 of the minor league semifinals between the Flamingos and the Hepcats. Williams Jr. versus Ziegler. The win will go to the Kansas City Hepcats, 7-4 on the game here. 4 RBIs on a 4-for-4 day from David Doug. What a day for the Kansas City third baseman. Meanwhile, for Florida, 2 RBIs from Bon Appetit, 2 hits and an RBI from Udo Bonga. Wade Williams Jr. takes the loss as Ziegler gets the win, catch the hold, and David Doug will be your player of the game. All right, Chadwick, want to take us on into the Firehawks Wheelers?
All right, let's see here. Fire versus ice. 2 wins. And it will be the Wheelers with a 1-run victory, 7-6. The Firehawks scored 2 in the top of the 8th to make it close, but can't get that last tying run. For Anchorage, Giannis, first baseman, going 3-for-4 with 6 RBI. We'll see that. I'm interested if that's a playoff record tying one. Probably not. Someone probably had 7, but 6 RBI is a big number. 2 RBIs there from 43. Oh, no, sorry, that's not RBIs yet. 2 hits from 43. Only other RBI coming from the leadoff hitter, Cameron Bailey III, going 1-for-4 with an RBI. For the Hawks, Reeves and Scott both go 2 hits. RBI from Scott and RBI from Splorger. Then looking down, super califragilisticexpialidocious Snake going 3-for-4 with 3 RBI. And then Spikes with an RBI as well. For the pitching, Max Velo is going to get the win. A hold for Wyatt. Atsuko is going to get their first save of the playoffs, this being their first game. For California, Tatum is going to take the loss, giving up 6 runs in just an innings and 2/3. Your player of the game with the 6 RBI is Ted Giannis.
Alrighty, so we've gone ahead and updated the crawler as well. None of the road teams taking a victory in game number 1 for either the majors or the minors. We'll see if that pattern holds, if the pattern of them not taking in the second game either holds up for the minors as it has so far in the majors. Minor league teams, if you have changes to make for game number 2, please do let us know. We're going to go ahead and do the majors first on the next day of the sim. Just because they will have had more time to think about their changes. So we'll go ahead and do quick changes for game number 3 of the majors and game number 2 of the minor leagues. So if you have changes to make, please let us know. I know the Sloths said they're good. Apex haven't said anything. Aviators are good. Space Rangers need to see stamina. Will do. Space Rangers, Polis and Marston. Marston is at 82. Polis is at 91, Dirk. Let us know if you have changes to make based on that information. I'm seeing nothing from the minor league teams at the moment. Nothing from the Apex still. Give you guys about another minute. Gotta keep things moving, though. Space Rangers ping. Okay, they have changes. That looks good. Use more often on Marston. That's literally the only change. Okay. Dunzo. I don't know if that looks good, Space Rangers, or if I missed anything. I think it was just the Marston change. Minor league teams, anything? Apex, anything? Not seeing anything yet.
Silence.
So I think we'll go ahead and... Well, the Space Rangers and Aviators said that they're both good, so we'll go ahead and do that game first. That'll give the Apex a... I don't know, did I say Aviators and Space Rangers? I meant Aviators and Sloths. That'll give the Apex a little bit of time if they want to say anything. But we'll go ahead and... Stammery said all Apex stars. Can't help you there, unfortunately. Aviators Sloths. Game number 3. Outer Banks leads at 2-0. We'll head on into the result for game number 3. Chadwick, you want to take this one?
I shall.
All right. Let's go.
And the Sloths will get one on the board at home with a 3-0 win. And they are following their hit total. 1 hit in the first game, 2 hits in the second game, and now 4 hits in the third game. If this game goes 7, if this series goes 7, they're going to have like a lot of hits at the end as they keep doubling their hits. But the Sloths will get the 3-0 win. RBIs are going to come off the bats of Cold, Hammer, and Slamdolph. For Outer Banks, they had just 3 hits. Garbanzo's going to get 2. McDaniel's going to get 1 at the bottom of the order. You are saving, which is good. Pitching-wise,
that's what I was
look
saying.
at this. About. Yeah. De Pollo going 9 innings, no runs, 8 Ks. Beautiful start in the postseason. 102 pitches, efficiency. Outer Banks, Johnson's going to go 4 2/3, give up 2 runs. Jiwoo will come in and pitch 3 1/3, so really saving the bullpen there. But Chicharron De Pollo getting the player of the game, no doubt, with a complete game shutout.
Not often that you have the CGSO in the playoff semifinals. So very impressive performance from Chicharron De Pollo. And chat mentioned it. This also means that we will not have a 16 streamed game streamed today. Because in order for that to happen, a team has to go up 3-0 and then reverse sweep in every single situation. So we're going to be quick simming game number 4 of the Aviators Sloths as well. So no 16 game stream. That's the good thing. Apex said no changes, so we're good to roll on into game number 3 for them. Game number 3 of the Apex Space Ranger series is going to go to The Indianapolis Apex, who now lead at 3-0. They are 1 win away from the World Series. 3-2 victory for them in game number 3. We'll go ahead and update the crawler as well real quick here. So we will be streaming game number 4 for this series, as well as all subsequent games. If there's a game 5, a game 6, if there's a game 7, we'll be streaming all of them for this one from here on out. But a 3-2 victory for the Apex in game number 3. 2 RBIs for Hulk Cavado on the side of Lunar Base and 2 hits for Cali Alvarez. For the Apex, 2 hits and an RBI from Catcher Scudder and an RBI each from Nitro and McKenzie. Very low hit total game. 4 for the Apex, the winning team, and 7 for Lunar Base. Polis will take the loss for Lunar Base, while the win will go to Williams on the side of Indianapolis. Both starters with no decision, but quality starts on both sides. And Stun Gun will be your player of the game with only 1 earned run over 7 innings pitched, striking out 10. So, Majors teams, if you have changes to make for game number 4, please let us know. What we will be doing is we will be, once we get to game 4, we will be quick simming the Aviators Sloths game, and then we will be full on streaming the Apex Space Rangers game. So that the Aviators Sloths have a little bit more time to think of changes if they need to for their next matchup. And then for the minor leagues, what's up?
I said, welcome on in. Hummus is here.
Oh, welcome, Hummus.
Yeah.
So majors teams, if you have changes to make, please let us know. Minor league, no pings from them, so I guess we're all good to go. Game number 2 of the minor league semifinals. Chadwick, you want to take this one?
I shall.
All right.
Mingo's Hepcats. We'll see. The Hepcats take a 2-0 series lead with a 2-1 victory. 11 hits, but only 2 runs. They scored those in the 7th. Looks like one came off on an error, and then Emmis followed that up with a 2-run double, which scored the 2 runs that got them the win. So if you look at there's the 2 for 4 and 2 RBIs from Goran Emmis, the right fielder. Multiple hits also from Cal, the first baseman, as well as Crawford, the DH. Then at the bomb yarder, Teggy getting 3 hits there, turning the lineup over. For Florida, not much going on except for a 1-for-3 game for Callahan with an RBI. Pitching-wise, Boss is going to go 6 innings and get a no decision, giving up just 1 run. Belfour will get the win out of the bullpen. 3 innings, a shutout ball out of the bullpen. Very impressive. For Florida, they got the Waters and Waters gang there going 7 2/3, but Waters, the latter Waters, is going to get the loss and the blown save. Your player of the game is going to be the starting pitcher for the Hepcats, Mike Boss, who took the no decision. And there we go. So the Hepcats up 2-0.
All right, and we'll head to the other side of the bracket as well. Go ahead and update this real quick. Kansas City takes a 2-0 lead in their series. California Firehawks versus Anchorage Wheelers. Wheelers lead at 1-0. Will they take the 2-0 lead? Or will we have our first 1-1 series? Winner of game number 2 is going to be the Anchorage Wheelers. So all series start off with a 2-0 lead for the home squad, as the Anchorage Wheelers take this one 3-2. 3 hits and 1 RBI for Plainview. 2 hits and 1 RBI for Amy 43, both on the side of the Wheelers. For California, 1 RBI each for Sneck and Frank. And then 2 hits for Splorger. Mitchell Jr. gets the win. Atsuka the save. Madsen takes the loss for California. Daniel Plainview, your player of the game. Sorry, one moment.
All right, yeah, no problem. So, chat, what do we think so far? Any observations from you? What do we think is going to happen? See some PS5 college football talk, which is interesting. Game's not even out yet.
All right. right, so we should be all set to move along here.
I'm with you, Billy the Kid.
And save.
It's been too long.
All right, September 30th. Minor leagues are on a travel day, so we have the major leagues. We'll quick sim the Aviators Sloths game once we make any changes for the major leagues. Aviators say no changes. Apex are letting it ride. Space Rangers have changes. Okay. All right. Marston. Stopper. 7th and close. No secondary. Pull us to middle relief. Normal usage. No secondary. And everything else looks good. That looks right, Dirk? Should be all set there. Okay.
All right, and while you're doing that,
Yep. What's up? Sweet.
our great mod have a prediction up, and it's got a. I don't think I've seen this many points. We've got a prediction that's got almost now it's 44,000 TPE or
wow.
not TPE, 44,000 channel points on the line in this prediction. So your prediction right now: Indianapolis versus Lunar Base. Will Lunar Base avoid the sweep? And right now it's a dead heat at 22,000 apiece.
Oh, whoa.
No, and somebody just went in with the
Big
mother load.
swing there.
Holy moly, 50,000 channel points.
All right, who just put in 50,000 channel points? I want to know.
Was that Lumo? Lumo says hello, everyone. I don't know.
I'm going to guess that was Paz, but maybe not. Oh, it was Paz!
Oh, it was Paz.
I was right. All right, well, we will... wow. That's a big prediction. We won't spend too much more time delaying here, but we will do a quick sim of the Aviator Sloths first thing. So we'll save and quick sim the Aviator Sloths. Game number 4 between the Aviator Sloths is going to go to the San Antonio Sloths, who take it 5-1, evening up the series at 2 games apiece, which means we will be also quick simming game number 5 in this one. But a 5-1 victory for the Sloths with 12 hits. So they exceed the Fibonacci sequence that they had going of 1, 2, 4, and they skip from 8 right to 12. 3 RBIs on 3 hits for Jacques Hammer on the side of the Sloths, and 2 hits each for Marcus and Fresca. For Outer Banks, though, the sole RBI coming from Harper, going 1 for 4 on the day. They're and Brooks, the only player to reach base more than once with a hit and a walk. Hangman will take the loss for the Aviators, while the win for the Sloths will go to Abel with 3.1 scoreless innings in relief. Jacques Hammer is your player of the game. Go ahead and save again. And, big shift for Lunar Base on the bet. 1,300 channel points. Wow. Okay. People are just going nuts in this prediction. Keep it going. Everyone put all of your channel points on one side. That is definitely not bad advice at all. But now we have our first streamed game of the day as the Lunar Base Space Rangers look to stave off elimination against the Indianapolis Apex, who won their quarterfinals 3-1 and have now taken a 3-0 lead in the semifinals. Only 1 loss through 7 playoff games. And they come into this one sending Beauregard Rove to the mound. 14-8 win-loss record for Rove. They will be facing off against Mano Wright on the mound. I already did turn BNN off, Enoch, but thank you. I appreciate the reminder. As mentioned, Lunar Base, they beat Cancun 3-1 to get here. They made it to the World Series last year, but they lost to Toronto. And this is their actually 10th semifinal in a row, the longest active streak in the majors, and tied for the longest streak of all time with the Sloths from way back in like season 3, if I'm not mistaken. But again, that was with fewer teams in the league. So very impressive chain of semifinals appearances for the lunar base Space Rangers here. But they find themselves with their backs against the wall here against a very dominant Indianapolis Apex team who are reaching their third straight playoff appearance, but it's only their first semifinals since season 28 when they last won the World Series. So the Indianapolis Apex are looking to get back to the World Series for the first time since season 28, and they come in with tied for the best record in the PBE, a 3-1 win in the quarterfinals, and now 3-0 in the semifinals. Lunar Base would have to perform a reverse sweep on them to prevent the Apex from making it back there, and it's going to be a tough road for Lunar Base to do just that. What do you think, Chadwick, between these two teams? Did you put any points in the prediction?
No, it's way too rich for my blood. I think we're at 145,000. Oh, 135,000 points in the pot there. So wow, amazing. I'm staying away from that.
As T Stills mentioned, it is far from over. Lunar Base is a very good team. Both of these teams have proven their skill both at the plate and in the field. It's going to be a fun one for this one. Game number 4. Chadwick, you ready to start things off for us with the first half of this ball game?
I shall. Let's get to some play-by-play.
All right, let's get on into it. I'm going to go ahead and pause the play-by-play just to make sure that everything looks good. We'll get rid of the out-of-town scoreboard since it is irrelevant for right now. And we are underway.
We are on the moon in the Trop. Nate Nitro is going to lead this off, the elimination game for the Space Rangers. Can they win at home? Emmanuel Wright will strike out Nitro on a 2-2 count. The Jew, who's on fire, will step in and ground out to the shortstop, who was shaded up the middle. Rick Slammer is going to ground out to short as well. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Emmanuel Wright. Lunar Base will be facing Beauregard Rove. Dog Eminem, who is on a hot streak, has a 3-1 count and will draw the walk. Lead-off walk. They'll bring up Holcavato, the third baseman, while the wild pitch. Runner moves to second. Holcavato will walk as well. So 2 on, no out for the Space Rangers. Allison Chains will step in and will strike out looking 0-2. Bring up Callie Alvarez, the catcher. Alvarez will hit one to the left, and it will be caught. Up to Arthur Morgan, the right fielder. Hit one, the center fielder. It's caught. And they threaten with the 2 walks. But do not score. We will go to the top of the second, where D. Fernandez will get a leadoff single. McKenzie, also on a hot streak, will hit one to left. It will be caught. 1 on, 1 out for catcher Scud, who will strike out on the full count. It's going to be up to Bulak Cove, third baseman, who strikes out 0-2. So we are scoreless. As we head to the bottom of the second, it will be 6-7-8 for Lunar Base. Poe is going to line out to third baseman. Blair Boyant, the shortstop, will ground out to third. Now, Scotty Sterling will strike out 1-2. No runs so far through 2. We're at the top of the third. Amelia Milligan will strike out 2-2. It's going to bring up the 9th hitting DH. You don't see that often. Nakamura. Nakamura hits one in the center, but it'll be tracked out. We'll bring up the top of the order again to Nate Nitro, who strikes out 1-2. So Mano Wright getting the job done so far. Lunar Base will bring up 9-1-2 facing Rove. Cross Erickson is going to ground out 6-3. Eminem, Dog Eminem, he's on fire still. Will get one down the line. He'll get to the wall. He'll get a double. And now Holcavato has a runner in scoring position with 1 out. And Holcavato will get one into the gap. It takes a crazy bounce into center field. It will be a double and a 1-0 lead for the Space Rangers. Allison Chains will now fly out to right. Runner will hold. 2 outs, 1 on for Callie Alvarez. Alvarez will get one underneath the glove of the third baseman. They'll send the runner, and he's safe. Lunar Bases put up 2 in the bottom of the third. Morgan's going to walk. Runners at first and second now for Poe, the DH. And Poe is going to strike out 0-2. But Lunar Base draws first blood in a must-win game. We will go to the top of the fourth, where it will be the Jew. Who's going to strike out 0-2. Check swing. Rake slammer. Going to slam one into the right center fielder gap for a double. Bring up D. Fernandez, the first baseman, also on flyer. Left-handed hitter will ground out to the shortstop. Miller will stay at second. And McKenzie will step in. And a great play there by the third baseman. Polcavato probably saved a run there. Bottom of the fourth. Catcher Scud will get the ball down into the wall at the leadoff double. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Bart Boyant. On the wrong side there. Sterling. Well pitched. Doesn't go too far. Sterling will get it under the glove of the shortstop. They're cornered for Cross Erickson. Cross Erickson will get it under the glove of the second baseman. A run scores. It's 3-0. Runners at first and second. No outs. Top of the order. Dog giving in. And a double play. They needed that. Runner at third now. Polcavato, 2 outs. And a walk. So can Allison Chandler drive in a 2-out RBI hit? No, bases loaded now for Cali Alvarez. What will happen here? Oh! Out in the left field. They get a run. They could have really broken this game open, but it's 3-0. Top of the fifth. Now will be catcher Scud. He's going to strike out. Baylock Cove, third baseman, steps in against Man O'Wright. Cove is going to ground out 4-3. And now Milligan steps in. And Milligan will ground out with the first baseman with the pitcher covering. It's 3-0. And AJay is going to call the rest of the game to let you know if there'll be another game.
The Space Rangers are looking alive here. Morgan strikes out to counteract my point, but 3-0 so far through the first half of the ball game, in a game where their playoff hopes are on the line. Poe's going to ground out to third baseman. And that is going to bring up Boyant, who flies out to straightaway center field. Nate Nitro reels it in to retire the side. We head to the top of the sixth. Apex need to put some runs on the board here. Only 4 innings left to do it. Nakamura strikes out. And we'll bring up the top of the order again. Nitro gets a base hit. Now it's going to be Jew to the Jew. Nitro off for second. No throw from the catcher as Nitro will get in easily to second base. Jew to the Jew will ground out to the second baseman, Sky Sterling. Now Slammer with a runner at third. Will get one over the head of the left fielder. Rake Slammer with a double and an RBI. Apex are on the board, cutting into this Space Ranger lead. It's now 3-1. D. Fernandez strikes out, though, to end the inning, and we head to the bottom of the sixth. Only a 2-run lead for the Space Rangers now. Sterling, Cross Erickson, and Eminem due up. Sterling strikes out. It brings up Cross Erickson. Cross Erickson gets that one past D. Fernandez at first. A single for Cross Erickson. Dog and Eminem, a fly out to center field, and now scooping to Polcavato. Rounds that short over to second in time for the fielder's choice. No runs for Lunar Base. They still lead 3-1. Top of the seventh, McKenzie, catcher Scudder, and Cove due up. And that's going to be an error against Blair Boyant at short, allowing McKenzie to reach. Catcher Scudder grounds into a fielder's choice, and now it's Cove. And drive right to the left fielder for out number 2. That's going to be a balk on Marston, allowing catcher Scudder to advance into scoring position. But a pop fly into shallow right field. Second baseman Scotty Sterling tracking back for that one, makes the grab. So the error and the balk do not come back to bite the Space Rangers. And instead we head to the bottom half of the seventh. Alvarez is going to get picked off. Officially called as a caught stealing his chains, and Alvarez will get a double. Arthur Morgan now grounds out to second base. Alvarez advances to third. Serpo. Line drive past the first baseman. They'll score another run. 4-1. Lunar Base takes another 3-run lead. They get the 1 run back an inning and a half later. They build on this lead to make it 4-1. We head to the top of the 8th. Nakamura's going to get hit by a pitch again, issued by John Marston. Now we're at the top of the order again for the Apex. Nitro strikes out. The Jew with a runner on, 1 away. Strikeout on the full count curveball from Marston. Slammer strikes out as well on the 2-2 pitch. And John Marston will strike out the side after allowing Nakamura to get on base with a hit by pitch. Not looking good for the Apex. They only have 3 outs left to play with here, but they do still have a 3-0 lead in the series. So even if they drop game 4 here, they still just need to win 1 of the next 3 games to advance. Cross Erickson grounds into a double play, and Eminem will fly out to right to end the bottom half of the 8th inning. Top of the 9th, last chance for the Apex. Will Lunar Base stay alive? Apex need 3 runs just to tie it up here. 4 runs to take the lead against Abenduct. Launched into left field. That one was a no-doubter. D. Fernandez with a solo shot. Thins the Lunar Base lead. It's now a 2-run lead for them, and still no outs in the top of the 9th. Curtis McKenzie, fly ball to center field. Should be easy routine grab for Cross Erickson out there. Three-wheel catcher Stubby. Grounds out to short, over to first in time. 2 away, last chance. Bellet Cove grounds out to second, over to first in time. Space Rangers stay alive. They take their first game of this semifinals set. They still trail Indianapolis 3-1, but a very important game for victory for Lunar Base here to keep their playoff hopes alive. The win goes to Mano Wright, loss goes to Rove, hold Marston, save goes to Abenduct. Mano Wright, your player of the game. Go ahead and save real quick. But Lunar Base picks up their first win in game number 4 here of the Champions Conference Finals. So we will be watching game number 5 between these 2 teams on the following day. There should be no minor league games as mentioned, so we'll go ahead and advance the day. Majors and minors teams, if you have changes to make, please let us know. I'm seeing nothing from the minor league teams, so I'm assuming you're all good. Aviators say no changes. Apex, Space Rangers, anything? We'll go ahead and quick sim the minor leagues since they've had plenty of time to go through their possible changes. Oh wait, no, Flamingos wanted a stamina check. That's right. All right, Parkwad. Stamina check. So we have, let's see, so it's Hex Waters, Williams, and Swishman that are the starters. So Waters V just pitched, they're drained. Mira Waters, the 5th, is at 80% rested for relief pitcher, but 26% for starting pitching. Everyone else looks to be in the green. If there's specific pitchers that you want me to go into, I will be happy to. Just let me know which ones you want to see. Mira as used less often. Okay. Anything else, Parkwad? Okay, perfect. Majors teams have changes. Space Rangers. Polis, stopper, 8th and close game. Okay. Marston back to middle leaf, normal usage. High leverage. And then we're adding a setup to Robert Green. That should be correct. I think I got everything. Martian stamina, yeah, we can check that as well. It's 62%. Looks correct on the screenshot. Apex are good. Space Rangers, if you have changes, let us know. Otherwise, we're going to be quick simming the minor leagues. So we have Ray Xavier versus JC Swishman for the Hepcats and the Flamingos series. Kansas City leads it 2-0. Chadwick, you want to take us through the box score for this one?
Yes, let's see. Hepcats, Mingos. And Kansas City will make it 3-0. With a 4-3 win. They scored 2 runs in the top of the 5th. Looking at their lineup, Cadabra, the catcher, in the leadoff spot, went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Cal, the first baseman, went 1 for 2 with 2 RBI. For Florida in the losing effort, RBIs from Car Crash, Southworth, and Bonga. Looking at the pitching, Kansas City starter Xavier is going to get a no decision, going 4 2/3. Kevin Choate will get the win out of the bullpen, going 1 2/3 to score this innings, even though giving up 3 hits. Your loss is going to go to Swishman. A hold for Catch, a hold for Belfour, and a save from Shirt Cutter. Very interesting. So 3-0 there.
Yeah, 3-0 for the Hepcats. We'll see if Anchorage will follow in their footsteps or if California will take game 3 on the other side of the bracket here. Cam Maddox for the Wheelers takes to the mound, while cash considerations for the Firehawks will start things off there. Game number 3 for the semifinals between the Wheelers and the Firehawks is going to go to the California Firehawks. We have our first 2-1, I think. No, we had a 2-1 in the majors. Never mind. But a 2-1 series now as California will take game 3, which means we will be quick simming game number 4 of this set. Both teams with 10 hits. Firehawks with 3 more runs, though, in this best of 7 semifinals. 3 for 4 day for Sneck with an RBI. 2 for 3 day with 3 runs for Nico Hernandez. From Anchorage, 2 hits and an RBI from Lee. And then 43 and Giannulis also get 2 hits. Maddox takes the loss. Considerations the win with 6 shutout innings. Shrub the hold. Viram the save. Cash considerations is your player of the game with those 6 shutout innings. So we'll go ahead and save. Minor league teams, if you have changes to make for game number 4, please do let us know. But before we get to game 4 for those teams, we are getting to game number 5 for these teams. Starting off with the Aviators Sloths. Series is tied at 2. Chadwick, you want to take us through this one?
Let's see who will break the deadlock. OBX Sloths. Who will take a decisive Game 5 win? And it will be the Sloths.
Wow.
6-2 at home. 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. Get them over the top. OBX came back with 2 in the top of the 6th. So very interesting. Let's look at what happened here for the Sloths with the bats. Pretty balanced. Look at that. RBIs from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different players, including a 2 RBI performance, 1 for 4 for Lanikai. See if there was that a home run. It looks like it was a double. Yeah, it looks like probably it was a 2 RBI double there. For the losing side, RBIs from McNeely and Kahn. Pitching-wise, Psyduck is going to be your winner. 6 innings. No runs. How about this? 11 strikeouts in 6 innings. A hold for Kamuro. A loss for Stryker. And the player of the game, no doubt, is Psyduck with 11 postseason strikeouts.
Very impressive. And look at the ERA, too, for Psyduck in the postseason. 0.86 ERA. Very impressive for the San Antonio starter. So that'll do it for game number 5 of the Sloths and Aviators series. So we have a 3-2 lead. Sloths over the Aviators. In the minor leagues, Kansas City leads 3-0 over Florida, and we will be watching game number 4 for that series in a day. Anchorage leads California 2-1 in the other side of that semifinal series. And the last series that we have yet to decide on October 1st here of the Sim, it's going to be a streamed one. Apex versus the Space Rangers. Yet again, we got back-to-back streamed games for these two teams. So fans of them are probably very happy about that. Allegra Macarena on the mound for the Space Rangers versus Bubbles for the Apex. Now, as mentioned, Apex had a 3-0 lead in this series. Space Rangers won Game 4 to stave off elimination. They need to win all 3 of the remaining games in the set to advance to the World Series. If the Apex win one of these 3, series ends, Apex in the World Series. But the Lunar Base Space Rangers have already proved that they can do it once in game number 4. Will they do it twice in game number 5? We have a... No, we don't have a prediction. Never mind. Prediction ended. That was the big one.
We have a new one.
Do we?
Yep, it just came up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just saw it. Will Indy close out the series? So I put in 420 channel points, all of the channel points that I had, and I came out with 1,100.
Nice.
1116. So I'm going to go ahead and go all in once again. I'm going to let it ride.
All right. We'll give people some time because I know that last one got... I think that's the highest number I've ever seen. It was almost 140,000 channel points, which is insane.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest that I've seen as well. So if people want to go ahead and continue to gamble their channel points, please go ahead and do so, because we won't be spending too long before we head on into game here, just in case we have more streamed games to follow. I'm trying to think of how many possible games. Let's see, 2 there.
Yeah. Push it all in.
5.
Play some points. It's just points.
6, 7, 8.
There we go. Pazu's in with he went from 50 to 20,000. So I think he's chipping out on us.
Well, he did just lose 50,000.
That's true. He did lose those
last one. So
all right, yes.
So there's potential still for 12 streamed games, including this one.
Okay, well let's not talk about that.
we shouldn't be delaying too much here.
Can't give you too much longer. Yes.
So last chance for those channel points. Indy looking to close it out in game number 5 with a 4th win to advance to the World Series. Lunar Base looking to stay alive and take their 2nd game of the series. But we're going to go ahead and head on in to game. Lunar Base Space Rangers versus the Indianapolis Apex. Macarena on the mound versus Bubbles as the starting pitchers. So let's head on into game here. So I'll be taking the first half of this one, right? Because you took the first half of the last one. So I'm going to start things off for us with Nate Nitro, Judah the Jew, and Rake Slammer in the batter's box against Allegra Macarena at the top of the first inning. Here we go. Heading back to the moon for game number 5. Nitro, Judah the Jew, and Rake Slammer first up for the Apex. The first at-bat of the ball game is going to be a diving catch in right field by Arthur Morgan to retire Nitro. Judah the Jew flies out to center. Rake Slammer will get one past Cross Erickson in center field all the way to the wall. Slammer is going to get to second base safely with a double. And we have another balk. I have not seen, I think, 2 balks in a stream before, and we've now seen them one in back-to-back games. Does not come back to bite the Space Rangers here as they then retire the side on the strikeout of D. Fernandez. But that is pretty wild to see already. Eminem gets on board. Holcavado will fly out. Now it's Chains fly ball into right field that will be caught by Slammer. Eminem still on first base, but a walk issued by Bubbles to Alvarez makes it first and second. Arthur Morgan grounder to third, over to second. Looked like a leaping catch at second base there, but they do get the play, the fielder's choice, to end the first inning. 1 hit for both teams, but no runs through the first inning. Curtis McKenzie, fly ball into right. 1 away. Catcher Scudder will get that one through the gap on the left-hand side of the infield. They'll be on board with single. Bellet Cove. I keep wanting to say Beauregard Cove, and it's not. It's Bellet Cove. Bellet Cove will be out number 2, and Milligan strikes out on the cutter for the third out. Catcher Scudder gets on board with a single, but nothing else for the Apex. Serpo strikes out to start off the bottom half of the second inning. Blair Buoyant. Line drive to left will be caught by Curtis McKenzie. Sterling draws a walk. And now it's Cross Erickson. 2 outs, runner on first. Cross Erickson grounds out back to the pitcher on a slow bouncer. Inning is over. We head to the top half of the third inning. Nakamura starts things off with the apex of the base hit in the top of the third. Now we have the top of the order for the apex with Nitro striking out. Jude the Jew strikes out as well on the 2-2 cutter. That's strikeout number 4 on the day from Macarena. And Slammer will line out to the center fielder for out number 3. Nothing really going on. We've had a few hits, a few walks, I think. At least 1 walk. But no runs across through 2.5. And then strikes out. The Hokovado will draw the walk on the full count pitch. Good patience at the plate there. Chains draws a walk on the 3-1. Now it's Alvarez. 2 runners on, 1 away. This is a big chance for the Space Rangers. Alvarez will strike out. 2 away now for Morgan. Walk drawn on the 3-1 pitch. Bases loaded. Serpo with 2 outs. And they strike out. Space Rangers threaten the most that they have so far this ball game with the bases loaded. But Lunar Base does not score. Top of the 4th, apex. Fernandez flies out to right center. Now it's going to be McKenzie. 2-1 pitch. That's going to be lofted into right for a base hit. McKenzie gets aboard. Leaping at short is Buoyant, but they can't make the grab, so catcher Scudder will be on board. It's officially going to be ruled as an error. I'm not sure what exactly. I must have missed something there, but the 5th strikeout of the day for Macarena retires Cove, but Milligan with a 2-run double. 2 RBIs for Amelia Milligan, doubling their postseason RBI count. And a deep drive to right, Nakamura is going to go yard. 2-run homer for Nakamura of the Apex. Instantly doubles the lead that the Apex just got. It was 2-0 earlier on in the inning. And now with a 2-run home run by Nakamura, it's now 4-0. Apex bats are back. We'll see if the Apex pitching and defense can keep the Space Rangers off the base paths long enough for the Apex to make it back to the World Series. Buoyant the first out of the inning. Sterling will strike out. That'll bring up Cross Erickson. 2 outs, nobody on for the Space Rangers. Pop fly, right side. Easily grabbed by D. Fernandez. 1, 2, 3 go the Space Rangers, and then we head to the top of the 5th. Still only 1 hit for Lunar Base through 4. Judah the Jew strikes out on 3 straight pitches. Swung on and missed on the screwball from Macarena, their 7th strikeout of the ball game. Slammer grounds that to short, over to first in time for out number 2. Now it's D. Fernandez. Grounder short, over to first in time, out number 3. 4-0 Apex, Chadwick, as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Space Rangers need to get something going.
Dog M&M will lead off against Bubbles. Will strike out 0-2 on the check swing. Hokovado will draw a 3-0 walk. Allison Chain steps in against Bubbles. Will hit one deep to right field, but the center fielder will make a catch just shy of the track. Alvarez will hit one opposite field. There's a first and second. And Morgan, who will strike out 1-2. Now we're in the inning. 4-0 still in favor of Indy. They will lead off McKenzie, who will fly out the left, facing Macarena. Catcher Scud will hit one to center, 2 gone. And Cove, the 3rd baseman, will strike out 2-2. So we're cruising along here. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, Lunar Base will just start chipping away. They want to stay alive. Poe, facing Jose Rodriguez Ortiz, will get a leadoff base hit just in front of the right fielder. Boyd steps in and will walk. So 2 on, no out for Scotty Sterling. Sterling will get one in front of the center fielder. The bases are loaded with no outs for Cross Erickson. Cross Erickson will walk. Lunar bases on the board. The bases are still loaded with no outs. Dog M&M, who is on fire, will step up. What can he do? He hits one to center and a great play. A diving play saves a couple of runs. Oh, catcher did a great job there stopping the wild pitch, but Holcavato strike out. Allison Chains, bases loaded. Will ground out 4-3 and an opportunity there to score more than 1 run. They got 1. They need a chip away, but that was a huge opportunity. Milligan facing Pulis is still in the game. Will strike out. Nakamura, the DH. 1-2 counts. Will strike out. 2 gone. Nitro. 2 outs, nobody on. Will ground out. 6-3. Ahead to the bottom of the 7th. Alvarez will strike out on the 1-2. Bring up the right fielder Morgan. Ortiz is still pitching. He's going to walk Morgan, and I'll bring up the DH Poe. Poe will go in the fielder's choice. Runner will go to second. Boyd will strike out. Had a chance there to make it 4-2. Don't get the job done. We'll go to the top of the 8th inning looking for insurance runs. The Jew will hit a fly ball to right. It'll be caught. Great slammer. Will strike out. Full count. Be up to T. Fernandez. Keep the inning going. Pulis deals. And Fernandez flies out the left. So the bottom of the 8th, Lunar base needs runs here. Make this closer. Sterling will now be facing left-handed pitcher Mason Williams. Sterling will fly out to center. Cross Erickson will strike out on the full count. He'll be bringing up the top of the order and Dog M&M. Who will get a ball into the gap? That'll be a double, a 2-out double. Can they take advantage? Holcavato. 2 outs, 1 on. Holcavato will ground out the short. Don't get anything across. Indianapolis will have 1 more inning here to get some insurance. Up 3, McKenzie facing Pulis. Pulis is still in there, and McKenzie gets the ball over the left fielder's glove for a double. Catcher Scud. Will bang one up the middle. Runner will go. He's safe. It's 5-1 on the base hit RBI from catcher Scud. Cove will strike out. That's 1 out, 1 on here for Milligan. John Marston, new pitcher, 4th Lunar base, is going to get a inning double play. We'll see how huge that is. They need 4 to tie, 5 to win in this decisive game here. Allison Chains is going to ground out to third. Alvarez facing Mason Williams will ground out to the third baseman. They're down to their last out. Professor Farnsworth comes in to face Morgan. And Morgan will strike out. And Indianapolis is headed to the World Series for the majors. The question is, are they in pole position? Take a look at the box. We just saw it. But for Indianapolis, bottom of the order got the work done. I didn't even notice that right in your head as you're watching. Milligan and Nakamura, 2 RBIs apiece. For Lunar base, RBIs from the bottom of the order again. Cross Erickson getting their lone RBI. For the pitching, Bubbles is going to get the win, going the 5 innings needed. 5 innings, no runs, 8 strikeouts, but 5 walks. Williams will get a hold. Macarena will get the loss. And your player of the game is going to be Bubbles. Interesting. But congratulations to the Indianapolis Apex for reaching the World Series.
Yeah, for the first time since season 28, the Apex are back in the World Series. Great fight by the Lunar Base Space Rangers. It wasn't for lack of opportunities, I want to mention. 25 left on base there is a big number for the Space Rangers. But the Apex, what a showing. 3-1 in the quarterfinals and now 4-1 in the semifinals. Advancing to the World Series. Congratulations. And if in terms of pole position you mean home field advantage, they will absolutely have that, considering that they had a better record than either San Antonio or OBX. So whichever team faces them in the World Series will not have home field advantage. It will be the Apex with home field advantage for the World Series as they look to win it for the first time since, again, season 28. So congratulations to Indy. I'm going to go ahead and update the crawler here with that information as Indy wins 4-1 in the series, 5-1 in game number 5. So congratulations to the Apex. We'll see you on Saturday for the Majors World Series.
There we go. And while that was happening, Pazu was in a giving mood. Thank you, Pazu, gifting subs. The sub gifter. A lot of them. So thank you. That is an awesome thing to do.
Absolutely. I missed that. So thank you very much, Paz, for gifting the subs. Much appreciated, as always. We'll go ahead and finish off the day of October 1st. We have, let's see, Sloth said they were letting it ride. Aviators have already pinged us. I'm not looking at it yet just because it's a travel day for the majors. Minor leagues, stamina check for the Flamingos. I'm not seeing anything else for any minor league team, so I'm assuming that we're good to go other than the Flamingos. Parquad, Swishman just pitched. They're currently exhausted. Scheduled starter Wade Silliams Jr. should be good to go at 100. We have we have Mirror Waters V at 58%, slightly tired for starting pitching, 87 for relief pitching. Total trade is at 0%. Everyone else is in the green or better. So let us know if you have any changes. I see that Parkwad's typing, so we're gonna wait. Give it okay. Wild hair to stopper. Stopper. 8th later lead. I assume no secondary. Toll trade to middle avoid. Okay. All right. Those two changes have been made. Anything else? That's it? All right. Perfect. No problem. I don't see anything from any other minor league team, so I think we are good to go. So as mentioned, Major League Travel Day. So the only thing is that we have to do are the minor league series. And we will go ahead and quick sim the Wheelers Firehawks games, just in case they do decide that they want to make any changes for game number 4. Or sorry, game number 5, I should say, since this is game number 4. So quickly, Max Velo on the mound versus Johnny Tatum for Anchorage and California, respectively. Game number 4 between the Wheelers and the Firehawks will go to the California Firehawks. They tie it up. Series is tied 2-2 after a 4-2 victory for the Firehawks. As Splorger has a great day in the number 3 position for California. 3 for 4 with 2 runs and 1 RBI at the plate for Splorger. Hernandez goes 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. On the side of Anchorage, Plainview goes 2 for 4 with 2 ribbies, and Hartman gets 2 hits. Velo takes a loss, Tatum the win, and Dimply Splorger will be your player of the game. So I'll go ahead and update the crawler, which means we will be quick simming game number 5 for that series as well. So Wheelers and Firehawks, if you have changes to make, please let us know in your playoff channel. Otherwise, we will assume that you are still good to go and that you are letting ride. So 2-2. I just did the same thing twice. 2-2 series tie between the Wheelers and the Firehawks. Very close matchup over there. Not as close over here for the Hepcats and the Flamingos. Ziegler and Wade Silliams Jr. will take to the mound for their respective teams. Hepcats lead the series 3-0. They have that first round bye, so they have some rested arms and some rested bats that have been taking full advantage of the fact that the Flamingos did have to play in to get to the semifinals. Excuse me. And taking a 3-0 lead in the series. A couple notes about these two. As mentioned, the Flamingos are the World Series champs. They beat the Dillos 3-1 to get here. And they haven't made the World Series 2 seasons in a row, but if they want to make it for a third straight, they're going to have to reverse sweep the Kansas City Hepcats, who come in with this first round bye. They lost in the quarterfinals last year to the Florida Flamingos, 3-2 last season, so they are looking to get revenge on them in this series for their elimination last year. The last time they were in the semifinals was season 42. The last time they were in the World Series was when they won it in season 39. So the Hepcats have had a little bit of a drought here of about 8 seasons since they made it to the World Series. Meanwhile, the Florida Flamingos, as mentioned, won the World Series last season, so they know very well what could be on the line on Saturday. But in order to get to that point, they need to win 4 games in a row, and that's going to be really tough for them to do so here. Chadwick, what do you think about these two teams matching up in our first streamed minor league game?
Yeah, as you said, the Hepcats have the commanding lead, but Florida is the defending champion, so it wouldn't surprise me they're going to do just what Lunar Base just did, is put up a fight.
All right, well, we'll see that fight momentarily here. Florida Flamingos versus Kansas City Hepcats. Game number 4, as the Flamingos look to stay alive in the playoffs. Which team gets to 7 hits first is the prediction. Florida, Kansas City, or neither. If you're choosing neither, you're thinking that neither team gets 7 hits in the ball game. Both teams would be held to 6 hits or less. I think that's unlikely, but we'll see what happens. We're going to head on into game here with the Flamingos and the Hepcats. Hepcats looking to head to the World Series with 1 more win. Flamingos need to stop them, and they need to stop them in 4 straight games. It's going to be a tough one for them. But Chadwick, you ready to take us through the first half of today's game?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get on into it.
All right, it'll be Cadaver facing Silliams Jr. to lead off this game here. And he'll strike out on the full count to lead off this game. Walker, the shortstop, steps in. Walker will bloop one in the right field for base hit. 1 on, 1 out for Cal, who's going to ground out. No, the second baseman gets eaten up. Runners at first and second for Eames, who's going to draw a full count walk. So just like that, the bases are loaded for Yeti Taz, who is going to ground out to the pitcher, who makes an amazing throw to home, to get the force out. Crawford is going to pop out into foul territory, and just like that, the inning is over. So an amazing play by the pitcher. Bottom of the first, Johnston facing Toby Ziegler. Johnston will get a base hit up the middle. Bring up Sean Carcrash. Carcrash, runner going. Johnson field steals second. Carcrash will pop up to second. Bon Appetit will sky one to left. It will be caught. So 2 down for Tommy Callahan, the DH, who will lift one to center. It will be caught, and we're scoreless through 1 inning. Hepcats will start off. David Doug, the third baseman, who will fly out to right field. Arson Judge is going to ground out to first base unassisted. Nolan Teggy will hammer one to center, but right at the center fielder. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Cruising along here, Southworth facing Ziegler. Will fly out to right. Crazy Tomato is going to get one to the wall. Will stretch that into a double. That's going to bring up the catcher, PJ Prosper, who will draw a full count walk. Right fielder Bonga steps in. Bonga is going to ground down to the shortstop. Runners at second and third now for Becker. Becker will strike out, and the threat is over. We are still scoreless through 2. Go to the top of the third. It'll be the top of the order for the Hepcats, and Cadaver is going to ground out to the shortstop. Walker will ground out to third. It's close there. And the Cow is on fire. Will hit one to left center. The center fielder will take charge. And we have no runs. So we go to the bottom of the third. Johnston leads it off. We'll draw a 3-1 walk. Car crash. We'll watch Johnston get picked off. Car crash will then pop up on the infield and bring up Bon Appetit with 2 outs. He's on fire. Bon Appetit will ground out to the first baseman with a pitcher assisting. And we're scoreless through 3 innings. Top of the fourth, Eames is going to pop out to the catcher in South territory. That'll bring up Yeti Tag. And the Yeti is going to fire to the left. Crawford, the DH, steps in. And we'll get it under the shortstop. With a 2-out single. David Doug will now pop that up in the infield. Shortstop takes charge. Inning over. Go to the bottom of the fourth. Scoreless. Callahan, the DH, leading off against Ziegler. Ziegler will plunk him. Southworth with a runner on. Hammer one to center will get over his head. They'll do the sky ball, but the runner will go from first to home on the double. 1-0 Flamingos. Crazy Tomato steps in. Center fielder gets there. 1 out, 1 on. For Prosper, he'll fly out the right. Runner will hold. Be up to Bongo with 2 outs. He will hit one to right. That should be routine. It is caught, but they get a run. 1-0. Favor of Florida as we go to the top of the 5th. 8-9-1 for the Hepcats. Arson Judge will ground out to the pitcher who throws the ball away. Judge will advance to second. Teggy will strike out in the full count. 1 on, 1 out for Cadavra, who will ground out the short. Run will move to third. Walker has a chance to drive in a run. And he will on the infield single. The ball eats up the third baseman. We're tied at 1. The first baseman steps up. Will ground out to the catcher. And halfway through the game, we're tied at 1. AJay will take you home to see Kansas City will advance.
Very close game so far, and it's going to be Dustin Becker starting things off in the bottom half of the 5th for the Flamingos with a single to left field in front of Judge. Johnston will strike out against Ziegler. Second K of the day for Toby. Car crash gets on board with a single. Advancing to third is Becker. So we have runners at the corners now for Napetit. Grounds into a fielder's choice. As Car crashes out second, but Becker does score as Florida takes their 1-run lead right back. A diving catch by Taz, though, will retire Callahan when we head to the top of the 6th. 2-1 Florida. Gordon Ems, the right fielder, grounds out to Becker at second. Now Yeti Taz. Fly ball left field. Barely moving out there as Car crash. They put the glove on it for out number 2. Crawford strikes out on the 1-2 knuckle curve. And Silliams Jr. gets their 3rd strikeout of the ball game. Bottom 6, 1-run lead for the Flamingos. Down the line in right, Southworth gets on board with a double. A good start to the inning for Florida. Chris T-shirt Cutter now enters the ball game in relief and immediately issues a walk to Crazy Tomato 2, but strikes out PJ Prosper on the 2-2 pitch, getting them to chase one outside the zone. Udo Bonga, fly ball right field, easy grab for Ems. Becker with a base hit, though. That's going to bring home a run. It's going to bring home 2, it looks like. Southworth scores easily. Tomato gets there just ahead of the throw. A 2-run double for Becker, the second baseman. And now a wild pitch from T-shirt cutter will allow Becker to advance to third. If it doesn't come back to bite them, Johnston does strike out to end the inning. First 1 to 7 hits is the Florida Flamingos, so the prediction paid out as we hit the top half of the 7th inning. Doug launches that one into the right center bleachers. That one's going to go. Solo home run for David Doug, the third baseman. Their second of the postseason and their 5th RBI. They get the hot fire icon next to their name for their efforts. Chipping away at that Florida lead. It's now 4-2. Teggy is the first out of the inning. Or sorry, Teggy is... Judge was the first out of the inning. Teggy gets on board with a single. Excuse me. But a fielder's choice takes Teggy off the base paths as Cadavra grounds into that fielder's choice. Off for second, though. They will be safe with a stolen base. Walker strikes out to end the inning, though. It's time for the stretch, as it is 4-2 here in Florida in favor of the home team. Car crash, the left fielder. Base hit into the left. They'll be on board with a single. Now Napati. Series MVP of the quarterfinals at the plate as Car Crash steals second. And Napati, with their first hit of the ball game, they are now 1 for 4 with a single. And picked off is Napati. So they get on board, but immediately get picked off. Callahan draws a walk. Now it's still runners at the corners, but now it's 1 away for Southworth. Ground to third, over to second, back over to first. 5-4-3 double play. Doug to Taz to Cal, retiring the side. Top of the 8th now, Kansas City. He puts together some good defense in that last inning to prevent Florida from scoring. Now they need to get some runs on the scoreboard here, as they're down 2 with only 2 innings to play. Cal gets on board with a single, and Ems strikes out. Taz pop flies that one to Napati for out number 2. Now Crawford, fielder's choice, will take Cal off the base paths and end the inning. Bottom half of the 8th coming up with the Flamingos looking to increase their 4-2 lead. Tomato the second will fly out to straightaway center field, or a line drive actually. PJ Prosper grounds out to the second baseman. Now it's Udo Bonga. 2 away, no one on. Billy the Kid, the pitch. Base hit for Bonga. That one up the middle. Bonga with a single, and now it's going to be Becker with 2 outs. Becker gets on board now. First and second for Johnston. Fly ball right center field. Should be playable, and it is. Teggy reaches up for the catch and retires the side. Florida maintains their 4-2 lead, but they do not add on to it. Top of the 9th. Last chance for Kansas City. They need runs here. Doug with a base hit. Way to start things off. They are 2 for 4 on the day. Excuse me. New pitcher Ransom Jones surrenders a base hit to Arson Judge. And that's Teggy. First and second, no one out. Fly ball to right, easy catch. Doug thought about tagging up and advancing, but did not decide to do so. Cadavra strikes out. Now down to the last out of the Hepcats. Walker, 2 runners on, 2 away. Fly ball to center field. This could do it all the way back to the wall. It's caught. Florida bests Kansas City 4-2, and they stay alive in the semifinals. They still trail 3-1. That was a dangerous fly ball by Walker. A little bit more on that one, and the Hepcats would have taken the lead, putting pressure on Florida. But no such luck for the Hepcats, as Florida Flamingos get their first win in the semifinals. The win will go to Silliams Jr., the loss to Ziegler, Mushingo the hold, and Jones the save. Wade Silliams Jr., player of the game, only 1 earned run over 6.1 innings pitched. Congratulations to Florida for staying alive here, picking up a game where they need it the most as they start their potential path for the reverse sweep. They're going to still need 3 more wins, though, to complete it. Still a tough road ahead of the Flamingos. But Kansas City leads 3-1, and the Firehawks Wheelers series is tied at 2. We'll head on to the next day of play, October 3rd. Save the game. Now we have all 3 series are playing today, so if you have changes, let us know. Aviators are going to take a look at stamina. I'm trying to think about how we want to play this. I think the play is going to be to stream the Majors game. And then we'll quick sim the California Anchorage game since they haven't really been coming up with any changes. And then we'll stream the Florida Kansas City game. So we'll do the OBX slots game first. See if the slots advance or if OBX forces a game 7. And then we'll head to the minor leagues. All right, no changes for the Aviators. All right, Flamingos. Want to check stamina. All right, stamina is Mashingo at 58. Toll Trade at 40. And Swishman at 26. But they will have a travel day in between there if there's a win. Scheduled starter should be good to go, though, 100%. Parkwad, any changes based on that? Firehawks letting a ride. Sweet. Prediction is up for San Antonio versus Outer Banks. The prediction is which team gets to 5 runs first. There is a neither option if you think that both teams are going to be held to 4 or less. All right, Mashingo to use less often. And Mira to use more often. Okay. Anything else, Parkwater, or does that look good for you? All right, cool. So we should be all set then. We'll go ahead to the Majors. Save the game real quick. All right, prediction is up for game number 6 between these two teams. Sloths went down 2-0 to the Aviators in the series, but have won 3 straight ball games now, all at home. Every single win so far this series has been the home team, as the Aviators won the first 2 at home, and the Sloths won their 3 home games. So will the Aviators continue the streak and force a game 7, or will the Sloths be the first away team to get a win in the set and advance to the World Series? It's going to be Chichiro and DePollo on the mound for the Sloths. You'll remember that they had a complete game shutout earlier on in this series. What would that have been? That would have been game number 3? Yeah, game number 3, a complete game shutout of the Outer Banks Aviators in the semifinals. Very impressive. So they match up well against OBX. But Carl Johnson matches up as well, very well against the Sloths as well. 3-0, 3-0 with a 1.06 ERA against the Sloths, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner there. Chadwick, what do you think about these two teams matching up here? Do you think the Sloths are going to be able to take it as the number 4 seed, or do you think the Aviators are going to force a game 7 here?
They've got a good chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Pollo has the form he had in his last game, but if you look at Carl Johnson, at least in the regular season, he was 3-0 with a 1.06 against the Sloths. So could go either way. We'll see what starting pitcher deals in this game.
Yeah, both pitchers match up very well against the other teams. So on first glance, I thought the prediction, the neither, was going to be a very risky click. I felt like 5 runs for either team is very possible here. However, with both of these pitchers matching up very well, I think the neither is actually a fairly decent option to choose for the prediction here. So, but we'll see what happens. Sloths and Aviators match up fairly well in the head-to-heads, 5-5. So, Outer Banks versus San Antonio. Sloths are 1 game away. Aviators looking to force a game number 7. We're going to head on into game here for game number 6 of the Legends Conference Finals. Let's get underway. Bartholomew Brown, Don Marcus, Zane Cole due up for the Sloths in the top of the first against Carl Johnson. Brown, the center fielder, strikes out to start things off. Don Marcus hitting .417 in the playoffs here. The series MVP of the quarterfinals. However, they will strike out here against Johnson. Now, Zane Cole gets a base hit. With 2 outs, it will be difficult to score them from here, but it's possible. Lanakai strikes out, though, to end the top of the first. So the Sloths have 3 strikeouts against Johnson and 1 single from Cole. Chicharo DePollo on the mound gets Henry to ground out. Dunkin' Donuts strikes out on the knuckle curve, 1-2 pitch. And now Arya Harper, the DH, steps in. Harper strikes out. That'll be a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Sloths defense. Only 1 hit so far through the first inning. Fresco will get on board, lofting that one into right center field. They will be safe with a stand-up double. Jacques Hammer gets that one down the line. That's probably going to be the first run of the ball game. Back-to-back doubles for the Sloths. Fresca and Hammer to give San Antonio the 1-0 lead. Ryder's second. They're not able to make the play, though, Garbanzo. That's going to go as an infield single for Slamdolf. Advancing Hammer to third, but Wolfington Jr. going to bring them home on the sac fly. Slamdolf remains at first, but 2-0 now San Antonio. Julian O'Sullivan Jr. strikes out. That'll bring us back to the top of the order for the Sloths. Brown with a single into right center field, all the way to the wall. Sorry, that's going to be a double. They have that speed, that 80 speed, helping push that from a single to a double, but Don Marcus strikes out. So the Sloths get 2 runs, threaten more, but they stick with the 2. Bottom half of the second now. McNeely flies out to center field. Now Okada Khan against DePollo. Strikeout. There's strikeout number 3 on the day for DePollo. Beckett Brooks. Fly ball left field. Shortstop racing back for it. Fresca. That's going to be the inning. 1-2-3 go the Aviators, and we head to the top of the third. No hits and no runs for Outer Banks so far. Launched into right field. Zane Cole goes yard. The Sloths add on to their lead. It is now 3-0. 354 feet on the home run from the first baseman. Luigi Lanakai is going to go yard. Back-to-back solo shots for the Sloths. The Bats are alive in this one. 388 on that one as Luigi Lanakai goes oppo. Fresca flies out to left. That'll be the first out of the inning. Xavier Crawford already in to pitch for the Aviators after the back-to-back home runs. And they get the next 2 batters that they face. Sorry, the next 3 batters that they face to go down in order. But the Sloths get 2 on back-to-back solo shots. Tunch Denstro will get a base hit after Garbanzo got on board. So now we have first and third with no one out for Shrimp McDaniel. Swing and a miss on the 3-2. They're down on strikes. Aaron Henry now. Base hit up the middle. The Aviators will score. Outer Banks on the board for the first time in this ball game. Dunkin' Donuts will watch as a wild pitch will advance both runners. And Donuts will draw a walk on the 3-1 count. Arya Harper, bases loaded, 1 away. Base hit for Harper. That's going to bring home 1. The plate safe. 2 RBI single by Arya Harper. And this game is now a 1-run ball game. Double play grounded into by Scott McNeely. But this was a 4-0 ball game just a minute ago. And now it is a 1-run lead for San Antonio. Wolfington Jr. gets on board with a single. Julian O'Sullivan Jr. will get a single as well, back-to-back. Back-to-back hits for the 8 and 9 hitters of the lineup. Brown lines out to Shrimp McDaniel, and now Don Marcus. That was that one to the first baseman. Over to second for 1. No relay throw. Runners at the corners with 2 away for Cold. Runner up the middle. Thrown on to second in time. Fielder's choice. Nothing on 2 hits for San Antonio. They still lead 4-3, but they don't add any to their total. Khan down the line and left. We'll get on board with the double. Stand-up double for Okada Khan is a good way to start things off in the bottom half of the fourth here for OBX. And Beckett Brooks is going to bring them home and tie this ball game up. RBI single for Beckett Brooks. Makes it 4-4. Garbanzo pop flies out to Don Marcus at second. Tunch Denstro grounds it to Marcus. Over to second. Shortstop covering back over to first. 4-6-3 double play. The Aviators tie the game at 4. But they do not add any more on. Top of the fifth now for the Sloss. Lanikai, a line drive catch, diving catch in right by Shrimp McDaniel. Fresca strikes out, and now it's going to be Hammer. Kim Ji-woo, the new pitcher for OBX. Strike 3 issued to Hammer. And the Sloss go down 1-2-3. We head to the bottom half of the fifth here with a 4-4 tie, Chadwick, but an exciting game already.
Yes, McDaniel will lead it off with a single against the player. We'll bring up Henry, the left fielder, who's bunting. Hoover runs the second and bring Dunkin' Donuts up with runner in scoring position. Donuts will draw the walk. Aria Harper will ground out to the pitcher, who will flip it to second to get the lead runner. So they're corner now for McNeely, who will strike out. Infield was in. Khan now. Bases loaded. Oh, what happened? Bases loaded. Khan will fly out the left, and that'll be the end of the inning. So, opportunity there for OBX to take the lead with the bases juiced. Top of the sixth, slammed off. Lead it off. It's Wu, and he will fly out to right. That was close down there. Wolfington Jr. will take a 3-1 walk. They'll bring up the DH Sullivan, who will strike out 1-2. So we're up to Brown, 2 outs. 3-1 count. Draws the walk. Don Marcus, 2 on. Will ground out for 3. We remain tied and go to the bottom of 6. OBX 6, 7, 8. In their lineup, Brooks will get robbed of a base hit by the left fielder. Garbanzo will maybe get robbed by the right fielder. And Denstro will pop one in front of the right fielder. So McDaniel, at the very least, they'll turn the lineup over. They'll fly out the center, and they'll turn the lineup over, so that could be big. Go to the top of the 7th. It will be the middle of the lineup for the Sloss. Zane Cold will strike out 0-2. Lanica steps in. Cleanup hitter will fly out the center. That's 2 down. Now Fresca. Fresca will draw the 3-1 walk. So it'll be up to Jacques Hammer, who will also draw a walk. So slammed off. Can he slam the Sloss into the lead? And he get a base hit, and they'll hold the runner. Probably the right decision there. Wolfington Jr. runner's going, and he'll get it over the center fielder's head. The runners were going. So 2 runs will score. Or 3, sorry. Yes, runners were going. I didn't even see the first one since they were going. I didn't even see him. 3 runs will score. A bases clearing double will be followed up by O'Sullivan with a base hit to double their lead. It's 8-4. A wild pitch. Brown is up the base. He'll get a base hit. They'll send the runner. No. They're cornered with 2 outs from Marcus. Runner still second. No throw. Marcus will. No. Wow. Shortstop deep in the hole makes the play. But San Antonio gets 4 runs on a bases loaded double. They had the hit and run on it, looks like. Henry will ground out. Nathan Abel's new pitcher. He's going to face Donuts, who will get a walk. Harper steps in and will strike out. 2 down now. McNeely facing Abel. Catcher stops the ball from getting to the backstop, but McNeely will strike out. And we are through 7 with an 8-4 lead for San Antonio. Top of the 8th, Cold will pop out to the catcher in foul territory. Lanica facing Maurer now. Will hit one to left. They're shaded there. They got it. Fresco, 2 outs. Will strike out on the 1-2. Go to the bottom of the 8th. OBX needs a couple runs here to make this interesting. Khan facing Abel. Khan will pop it up. Shortstop takes charge. Brooks will strike out. So it'll be Garbanzo. Nobody on, 2 outs. And Garbanzo will draw the 3-1 walk. Bringing up the catcher, Dinstro. New pitcher, Johanna Salberg, will give up a base hit. So McDaniel, the 9-hitter, 2 on, 2 outs, will hit one to center. It will be caught. The side is retired. For the top of the 9th, with the Sloss looking for insurance, up 4. Hammer steps in against Maurer. Hammers one, but caught on the track by the center fielder. Slammed off. Will strike out, looking 3-2. 2 outs for Wolfington Jr., who gets a base hit between the first baseman and the second baseman. O'Sullivan Jr. will watch the first baseman drop the pickoff throw, and wow, the right fielder there made a great play to save a run. We'll see if that plays big, if they can tie this up. Henry, leadoff hitter for OBX, facing the gauntlet here. Donuts will ground out. There's 2 outs. A lot of work to do for OBX. And the work is done, as the Loss will win the series and crawl their way there to face the Apex. 8-4 is your final score for San Antonio. Paced by Wolfington Jr., the catcher, going 3 for 3, 4 RBI. RBIs also from Cold, Lanikai, Hammer, and O'Sullivan. De Pollo will get the win. Not as dominant as his last game, but still good. 6 1/3, 4 runs. Ji Woo will take the loss out of the bullpen for Outer Banks. No save in this one. Tedford, Wolfington Jr., your player of the game.
So we have our Majors World Series set. It's going to be the Sloths versus the Apex. And if you had told me coming into the playoffs that that was going to be the 2 teams, I might have believed you on one of them, but I would not have believed that the Sloths would have made this miracle run that they've made. They came into the playoffs with a losing record, number 4 seed in the Legends Conference, and they are now in the World Series, facing down the Indianapolis Apex, tied for the best record in the regular season in the PBE, the Apex. So it will be an interesting matchup on Saturday between Indianapolis and San Antonio. But we'll see which team comes out on top. It won't be until this Saturday that we find out, though. As we head to the minor leagues to finish up the semifinals, we have 2 sets that we need to determine here. First up, we're going to quick sim the Wheelers Firehawks game, and then we will go into a full stream of the Hepcats Flamingos game, since that is a elimination game. But game 5 for the Firehawks Wheelers is not an elimination game. There will be a guaranteed game 6 and maybe even a game 7 for this matchup. So game 5, the winner of game 5 for the Wheelers Firehawks matchup is going to be the Anchorage Wheelers, who take a 8-6 victory here. They take game 5, a 3-2 lead in the series for the Wheelers. 2 RBIs for Bailey III, 3 RBIs for Giannulis on a 4-for-5 day. For California, 2 hits and 3 RBIs for Reeves, and Scott goes 3 for 5. Madsen takes the loss. Holmes the win. Both stars gain the decision. Holmes only 1 earned run over 6 innings pitched. Ted Giannulis, your player of the game. So the Anchorage Wheelers take the 3-2 lead in the series. Thank you, Aneeks. I did see that. I was going to wait to ping Enoch until after we're finished with the Florida-Kansas City game. But then once we advance the day, just delete the file? Okay. Well, Enoch said, you guys, we can't go back on that now. We got to go ahead and delete the file. Sorry to everyone. We're deleting it.
Deleted.
Deleted. Enoch, I might need you to hop in after this Hepcats Flamingos game to let us know how to properly delete the games of the Majors World Series. But before we do that, though, Kansas City had a 3-0 lead coming into game number 4. Florida staves off elimination in game number 4 with their first win in the series. They need to reverse sweep. And they need to get 3 wins in a row in order to do that. And that start of the 3 wins starts now. Hex Waters the 5th is going to take to the mound for the Flamingos as they look to put up win number 2 in this series against the Hepcats and stay alive. The Hepcats are salivating at the possibility of getting to the World Series here. Just need to win one of these next 3 games, and as soon as they do win one, the series ends and they will advance. Mike Boss III will take to the mound for the Hepcats. They do not fare well against the Flamingos, 0-1 with a 4.80 ERA, while Hex Waters the 5th does fare very well against Kansas City, 2-0 with a 1.93. We do have a prediction of who leads after 9. Wait, is that right? Who leads after 9 innings? Okay, so tied extra innings, yeah. So you're basically predicting who wins if the game ends in regulation, or if you think there will be extra innings, then vote for the third option of tied extra innings. Who leads after 9 innings? What do you think, Chadwick? Do you think the Florida Flamingos are going to put win number 2 up on the board here, or do you think the Hepcats are going to advance in this game?
If I was betting, I would bet on Florida. I just have a hunch.
Okay. All right. Well, I would, in order to counterbalance the streamer's curse, I would say that I would bet on the Hepcats to finish it out here and advance to the World Series. But we're going to see which team does come out on top. This way we can't be accused of streamers cursing one team over the other.
Thank you. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you ready to start things off for us in this ball game?
I shall.
All right. Take it away.
All right, Cadaver will be facing Hex Waters to lead off this game. And we'll take the 0-1 pitch to right field for the first out. Walker, the shortstop, will hit one to left and a diving catch there. 2 down. Cow will hit one to center field, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Hex Waters, the 5th. Florida will lead off with Johnston facing Mike Boss III. So we have a total of +8 if you're looking at the surnames. Car Crash of the Sean variety will strike out 2-2. And now Bon Appetit, the third baseman, will get robbed by the third baseman who makes a diving catch down the line. Kansas City will bring up their cleanup hitter, Eames, who will ground out to short for the first out. Yeti Taz will hit one to center, but it will be caught. Now Crawford, the DH, will strike out. So, bottom of the second, cleanup hitter for Mingos, Callahan will lead off. Callahan will lift one to left, but it will be not caught. Wow, the left fielder had a beat on it. Don't know if it went off his glove. Don't know what happened there, but Southworth will ground out. Ooh, that was close. Runner stays at second. Crazy Tomato hits a ground ball. That will move the runner to the third at least. Prosper, 2 outs, runner at third. Will draw a walk. You have to Bonga, the right fielder, to drive this run in. He will lift one to center, but it's caught. And through 2, we're scoreless. Top of the third, Doug, who's on fire, lead this inning off, and he'll hammer one, and he's going to stay on fire, depositing a ball into the right field stands for a 1-0 Hepcat lead. That will bring up Heyman's favorite player, Arson Judge. Going to fly out the left. Nolan Teggy will strike out on the 2-2. Check swing there. Cadavra will pop out to the third baseman. But they get a home run to take a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the third for the Flamingos. It'll be the 9-hitter. Becker drawing a walk on the 3-1 count. Johnston will hit one to center. Car crash up next. And he will ground out into the fielder's choice. They get the leadoff runner there. Bon Appetit will watch car crash steal second. Bon Appetit will then fly out to left, and the side is retired. Walker is going to lead off the top of the fourth for the Hepcats. And he's going to hit one into the gap. He'll hit to the wall for a leadoff double. 3-hitter, first baseman, will strike out. Emmis, the right fielder, will now try to get this run home. And he'll ground out to the pitcher. Runner stays at second, so he'll be up to Taz at 2 outs. And Taz will get it to left field. They'll get the throw in, and he's safe. RBI single for Taz. It's 2-0 Hepcats. Crawford, the DH, will now step to the plate, get a base hit. Runners at first and second. And Doug, who just hit a home run, can he do it again? No, a ground ball to first baseman. He'll take it unassisted. Kansas City does get a run. It's 2-0. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, will be Callahan leading things off. Big shift on. He hit right into it. The third baseman there, Southworth, will fly out to center. Crazy Tomato, 2 down. Another kind of shift there. Third baseman will make the play. 1-2-3 inning. Go to the top of the fifth. Arson Judge will ground out. First baseman, pitcher covering. Teggy will get a base hit. 1 on, 1 out for Cadavra, who will fly out to left field near the line. He'll be up to Walker with 2 outs. Walker will see the runner steal second. Walker will then deposit the ball down the right field line. That will score a run. Base hit. 3-0 Hepcats. We cow will watch Walker get picked off. It's 3-0. AJay will take you home to see if Kansas City will advance.
And it's looking solid for them right now. Florida Flamingos, only 1 hit throughout the first 4 innings. They need to get something going here. Prosper walks, but Bonga grounds into a double play to clear them off the base paths. And now Becker will get a base hit, the second of the day for the Florida Flamingos. Johnston diving catch and right is at with M's. And Johnston will be retired. 1 left on. No runs across for Florida. Top of the 6th. Kansas City has scored 1 in each of the last 3 innings. We'll see if that pattern continues or not. Cal flies out. Ems gets a base hit. Now it'll be Taz, the second baseman. Base hit for Taz. Ems advances to second. Now it's Crawford. First and second, 1 away. Fly ball, left field, deep, all the way back to the wall. It's gone. 3-run homer for Reggie Crawford, the DH. Their first of the postseason, doubling the Kansas City lead. It is 6-0 now. Mira Waters, the 5th, enters the ballgame to relief. In relief, David Doug draws a walk. Judge strikes out, and now it's 2 outs with a runner on first for Teggy. Off for second. Stolen base for David Doug. Teggy grounds out to second. Diving attempt by Becker. They aren't able to make the play. Infield single for Teggy, but Cadavra flies out to end the inning. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. 3-run home run by Reggie Crawford puts the Hepcats up 6-0. And the Flamingos need to get some runs going now. Car crash was the first out of the inning. Appetit gets on board with a single. Callahan now. Runner on first, 1 away. Fly ball right side. Easy grab for Ems. Southworth now. 2 away, runner on first. That'll be a single for Southworth. First and second now for Tomato. Fly ball, right side, deep, going back to the wall. It's gone! 3-run homer by Crazy Tomato the second. Cuts the lead in half. It is now 6-3. First homer of the postseason for Crazy Tomato 2. And what a time to have it. The Flamingos put 3 on the board. PJ Prosper gets on board. Eddie Catch, the new pitcher, surrenders a base hit to Udo Bonga. 2 on. Tying run at the plate is Becker. Single for Becker, that's going to bring home a run. Prosper scores. RBI single for Dustin Becker. Chipping further into this Kansas City lead. It's now 6-4. Grounder second over to first in time to retire Johnston. Florida scores 4. And we head to the top of the 7th. Kansas City offense has been good so far this game. They need to add on some insurance runs here, though. I don't think they're comfortable with a 2-run lead heading into the last third of the game. Walker and Cal are the first 2 casualties of the inning. Cal on the strikeout. Now it's Ems against Mira Waters the 5th. Grounder short. And now hold on to the ball. Infield hit for Ems. Taz flies out to left. Hepcats get one hit on the infield single. Nothing else, though. We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning after the stretch. Car crash. Fly out to straightaway center field. Now Napatit. No one on, one away. Base hit for Napatit. They're on board. Definitely not Kevin Choate enters the ball game and surrenders a base hit to Callahan. Back-to-back singles now for the Flamingos. Southworth, 2 on, 1 away. Grounder short, over to second for 1. No relay throw. It's a fielder's choice. Runners at the course. Crazy Tomato the second will strike out looking. 6-4, still the score at the end of 7. Flamingos get 2 hits but no runs. We head to the top of the 8th. Crawford, Doug, and Judge due up. Crawford with a base hit. That's their 3rd of the ballgame. They're 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs on the day. David Doug strikes out. Now it's Arson Judge. Grounder short, over to second, over to first. 6-4-3 double play. Nothing on a hit for the Hepcats. It's still 6-4 heading into the bottom of the 8th. Flamingos down to their last 6 outs. They need 2 runs to tie this up. Prosper flies out, and now it's Bonga. Bonga grounds out to short. Dustin Becker now. 429 average on the postseason. Deep drive. That was a no-doubter. As Dustin Becker launches that one for a solo shot, it's now 6-5. The best hitter in the postseason for the Flamingos, Dustin Becker, without a doubt, 448 average. And they have now put this game within a 1-run reach. Johnston grounds out to end the inning, and we head to the top of the 9th. Kansas City, I'm sure, is very intent on scoring some insurance runs here against Mira Waters the 5th. They don't want to head to the bottom of the 9th with only a 1-run lead. They'd rather have 2 or more. But 2 quick groundouts by Teggy and Kadavra make it look not so promising for this half inning. Ringo Bashingo comes in and immediately gets Brooks Walker to fly out to end the inning. Last chance for Florida. Final 3 outs. Car crash. Napatit, Callahan due up. It's the 2-3-4 batters. This is dangerous for the Hepcats. Thornton Belfour on the mound issues a walk to Car crash. Car crash steals second, already in scoring position with no one out. This is big for the Flamingos. And a walk by Napatit. Callahan now. First and second, no one out. Struck out Callahan. 1 down. W.D. Jecker enters the ballgame. Southworth to the plate. Pop fly, right side. Coming in. Ems takes care of it. 2 away. Crazy Tomato the second. Last out. Last chance. Base hit for Tomato. That's going to tie the ball game. Car crash scores. Napatit advances to second on the RBI single by Crazy Tomato the second. Flamingos tie it up at 6. Prosper. Fly ball left side. It will be caught. Extra innings. The prediction was perfect as we head to the top of the 10th. Cow with a base hit to start things off for the Hepcats here in the top of the 10th. Ems now. Grounder to second, over to first in time, but the runner advances into scoring position. Yeti Taz. Runner on second, 1 away. Ground out to first. Crawford needs to get a hit here. Runner short over to first in time. Kansas City 10th ends. And the Flamingos are in walk-off territory here. It's going to be Bonga, Becker, and Johnston. And if you're the Hepcats, you are not thrilled to see Becker in that on-deck circle. Now in the batter's box after Bonga strikes out. The pitch to Becker. Grounder to third, over to first. They got him. Big threat. Taken down here in the bottom of the 10th. Dan Johnston flies out to center to end the 10th. It's going to be a while before they see Becker again. We head to the 11th inning now. Doug, Judge, and Teggy. Doug will fly out to center field. Arson Judge. Bald hair, the new pitcher. One away, no one on, and Judge flies out to center as well. Teggy. No one on, 2 away. Grounder to third, over to first in time. Bottom of the 11th. Flamingos have another chance here. It's Car Crash, Napatit, Callahan. 2, 3, 4 hitters. Car Crash strikes out against Jecker. Now it's Napatit. 3 home runs in the postseason. And that's going to be an error. A throw to first, not on the mark. Napatit will advance to second. Callahan flies out to center. Southworth, runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Base hit could win the game here. Grounder second, over to first in time. Hepcats dodge a bullet. We head to the 12th. Could have been a very costly error if that run came around to score, but it was not to be. Cadavra for the Hepcats will get on board to start things off in the 12th. Walker. Stealing second is Cadavra. In scoring position. Base hit, Walker. That's going to bring home a run. Cadavra scores and the Hepcats take the lead back. 7-6. Putting the pressure on the Flamingos, needing to score in the bottom half of the 12th inning now. Cal will ground out, and now it's Ems. Still runner in scoring position, only 1 out. Ems flies out to center, and now it's going to be Taz. 2 outs, runner at second. Grounder second, over to first, in time for the play. Kansas City takes a 7-6 lead in a game that could push them into the World Series. Flamingos need to score here to stay alive in this inning. Tomato second, grounds out. There's 1. PJ Prosper. Will they be able to get to Becker? Prosper walks. Here's Bonga now. Prosper on first. Schmidt enters the ballgame in relief. Bonga grounds out. Now it's going to be Becker. 433 average, runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Base hit for Becker. He comes up clutch again. Dustin Becker, RBI single. It's tied again at 7. What a game for Dustin Becker, and Dan Johnston will fly out to center field to retire the side. We have the 13th inning. Crawford, Doug, and Judge due up for the Hepcats. Crawford launches that to right, but it's not going to be enough. Fly out to Bonga. David Doug strikes out. Arson Judge. 2 outs. No one on. Arson Judge gets on board a single. Now it's Nolan Teggy, the center fielder. Launched to center field. Nolan Teggy, 2-run bomb. The Hepcats take a 9-7 lead. Big clutch at bat from Nolan Teggy. A 2-run home run puts the Hepcats up in a big way here in the 13th. Cadavra gets on board. Hepcats might not be done here. Stolen base by Cadavra. Now it's Walker. Grounder to second, over to first in time. Hepcats score 2, which means the Flamingos need to score 2 in this inning to stay alive in the playoffs. 3 to walk it off. Car crash against Schmidt. Grounds out to short. Napatit now. Base hit for Bon Appetit. It's their 3rd hit of the ballgame. They're 3 for 6. Callahan. Fly ball, center field. Easy grab for Teggy. Last chance. They're down to the last out. Southworth. Grounder to third. This could do it. Oh, they hold on to it. Infield hit for Southworth. Tomato the second. Tie run at... winning run is now on first base as Tomato the second walks. Prosper. Fly ball to center field. This could do it. The Hepcats advance to the World Series 9-7 on the victory. Extra innings, 13 of them. What a game. Kansas City Hepcats come away with the victory. Flamingos really put up a fight in that game. But it was not to be, as the Kansas City Hepcats will be seen on Saturday trying to get their first World Series since season 39. Congratulations to the Kansas City Hepcats. A tough-fought game and a tough-fought series for sure. The win of the final game goes to Schmidt. The loss goes to Hare. Holds for Catch, Kevin Choate, and Belfer, and Jecker with the blown save. Dustin Becker, your player of the game. What a day they had. 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a walk. Dustin Becker, the second baseman, really coming up clutch for Florida. But they just could not get it done, as the Kansas City Hepcats will take the win and advance to the World Series. A great series for Kansas City. Congratulations to the Hepcats. So we now have 3 of our World Series teams established. Let me go ahead and update the crawler real quick here. And now our final spot that is still up for grabs comes down to California and Anchorage. Anchorage leads the series 3-2. They could put a win on the board in game number 6 and advance to the World Series to face off against the Hepcats. Or if the Firehawks win, we'll see a game number 7 for all the marbles. Wheelers, Firehawks, if you have changes to make, let us know in your channels. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and advance the day.
Firehawks say they're good.
Sweet. It's a travel day.
The Wheelers are radio silence, so.
Okay. Yep, we're going to need to get Enoch in here. Enoch! In case of the Game 6 thing. In case of a Game 6 win for the Firehawks. Enoch, can you hop in the... I see you in Twitch chat, so I know you... I don't think I need to ping you. Can you hop in the chat? The voice channel, that is. Hello. Enoch?
Yes.
Hey.
Well, you need to get to. Well, we're still on the last day. We're still on. Where are we right now?
So, we have
What day
game
are we?
number 6 for the minor leagues coming up on the same day as game number 1 of the majors.
Yeah. So that's fine. Just for the day, that should be a day off. Wait, this is the day off?
Yeah, this is the day off. So you want me to
Okay,
advance?
then go through one more day.
Okay.
All right. So now we have game 6 and game 1. Okay, so then go back to the league settings.
League settings for the PBE?
Yeah, PBE.
Okay.
Go into options, edit schedule. What you're going to do is go to today, and then just delete game. All right, and that's all you for one day. Yeah, that's all right.
Should I just delete all 7?
No, just
No.
delete this one as well.
The first 2?
You can't get past this one anyway, so then
Yeah.
you're fine. So
Okay.
don't delete all 7 of them, because that bad things will happen.
Okay, and then it will be adjusted by someone
I
else. That's not me.
I have to move the stuff anyways. So because the majors World Series happen after the minors, so that needs
Gotcha,
to be
okay.
moved regardless.
So you'll be moving those around. So
Yeah, you're
that's
only
the
moving those anyway. So just
Cool.
make sure there should not be a majors game.
There's no
Right.
majors games for the
Okay.
next 3 days.
All right, then you're fine. So
Sweet. Thank you very much, Enoch.
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Enoch. All right. We have one more series to decide. That is the California Firehawks versus the Anchorage Wheelers. Wheelers lead the series 3-2. They had the first round bye. Meanwhile, the California Firehawks beat Chicago 3-2 in the quarterfinals to get to this point. Missed the playoffs last season. Hasn't won the World Series since their four-peat back in season 30 to season 30. But they made an appearance in the World Series in season 43. They come in as the number 5 seed, I think, versus the Wheelers, who are the number 1 seed. So it would be a very impressive comeback if the Firehawks can win these last 2 games and advance to face off against the Hepcats. The Wheelers just need to win 1 of these last 2 games. There'll be cash considerations on the mound for the Firehawks versus Cam Maddox for the Wheelers. Neither of these two fare very well against the opposing teams, with 7 ERAs for both sides against their specific team. Okay, Wheelers and Firehawks, no changes, cool. And that head-to-head, quite in favor of the Wheelers, huh, Chadwick?
I would say so.
So, do you have any thoughts on this series coming into game number 6 here?
No, not really. I'd say let's just get into it and see what happens.
All right, I think we will do just that. I just want to check and make sure the prediction. Do we have a prediction?
We do. It's which game will win Game 6, and it started with a 100,000 point bet on the Firehawks.
Wow.
And Anchorage has now inched their way up to 80,000. So we have 180,000 channel points on the line.
Chat is going crazy with the predictions tonight. You'll love to see it. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll be taking us through the first half, and then Chadwick will be taking you through the rest of the game. Should be all set. It's going to be Reeves, Scott, and Splorger due up as we start game number 6. Cam Maddox takes to the mound for the Wheelers in a game that can propel them to face the Hepcats in the World Series. Let's get started. Welcome to Anchorage. Reeves, Scott, and Splorger will be the first 3 at-bats against Maddox. Reeves hits .296 versus righties this season. And they'll get on board. They really like to face those right-handed pitchers, Reeves does. They'll be safe with a stolen base at second. Scott with a base hit. That's going to score Reeves. We're off to a quick start. As we go single, stolen base, double. 1-0 California. Splorger strikes out. Now it will be Smalls, the left fielder. Base hit for Smalls. That's going to score another. 2-0 in favor of California. Firehawks out to an early lead. Hernandez will ground out into a fielder's choice. They'll get to first. Sneck will fly out, though, to end the inning. 2-0 California. Early lead as we head to the bottom half of the first. Cameron Bailey III starting things off for the Wheelers against cash considerations. Bailey III grounds out. Enrique Von Caliente now. Ground out to the first baseman. Frank takes care of that one. Giannoulis now. 3:17 on the first pitch for Giannoulis, but they wait until the 5th pitch to fly out to left. 1-2-3 go the Wheelers. Top of the second, California leads 2-0 and look to extend their lead in this inning. Frank grounds out, and now it's going to be Andrew Spikes, the shortstop. Spikes will draw a walk on full count pitch. Newfan strikes out. Their average in the postseason, .086. Not too good in the postseason is Newfan. The ground out will end the inning for the Firehawks. We head to the bottom half of the second. Plainview 43 and Hartman. Plainview, a base hit past a diving shortstop Spikes. They'll get on board with a single. 43, though, rounds into a double play, clearing the bases 5-4-3. Hartman flies out to straightaway center field, and that will be out number 3. Nothing on a hit for Anchorage. Top of the third, 2-0 California. Scott, Splorger, and Smalls due up. Scott grounds out to the shortstop Danks. Now Splorger. Fly ball, right center field. Roaming over is Trantow. They'll make the grab. Smalls draws a walk. We have a runner on first with 2 away. Here's Hernandez. Base hit for Hernandez. That will advance Smalls to second. 2 outs here, Sneck. Pop fly, shallow left, shortstop goes back to grab it. Danks will take care of that one. 3 innings done for California. The bottom of the third for the Wheelers coming up now. Trantow, Lee, and Danks due up. Trantow flies out. Now here's Lee. Lee draws a walk on 4 pitches. Now it's going to be Stanley Danks. 1 on first, 1 away. Past a diving shortstop. Danks gets on board. First and second for Bailey. Bailey with a base hit. That's going to bring home a run. RBI single for Cameron Bailey III. And the lead is cut in half. 2-1 now. Still in favor of the Firehawks, but the Wheelers are on the board. When Caliente gets on board, Danks holds up at third. Giannoulis grounds it back to the pitcher. Throw on to first, 9 time. Giannoulis beats it out. Infield single and an RBI for Giannoulis. Tie ball game. Plainview strikes out. Bases loaded for 43 with 2 outs. Runner short. Held on to infield single for 43 and another RBI. Hartman, fly ball left. Caught just shy of the track. Side is retired. Anchorage bats around, scores 3 to take the lead, 3-2. It's going to be Maddox back to the mound, issuing a walk against Bubba Frank in the top of the 4th here. Spikes and Newfan due up. Spikes with a base hit to right center all the way into the gap. Rounding third was Frank, but they hold up. Second and third now. No one out for Newfan. Base hit for Newfan. RBI single. Tie ball game yet again. Now it's Bass Reeves with runners at the corners and 1 away. Strikeout by Reeves. Scott advances on the walk. Splorger, bases loaded, 1 away. Atsuka, the new pitcher. Big possible inning for the Firehawks. Thrown onto the home plate. Fielder's choice. They save a run. They try to get the runner at first, but they are unsuccessful. And that strikeout on the cutter by Smalls leaves this game tied at 3. Bottom half of the 4th, Trantow, Lee, and Danks for the Wheelers against considerations. Trantow strikes out. Now it's Lee. Lee 0 for 0 on the day with a walk earlier on the ball game. Lee flies out to Sneck, and now it's going to be Danks 1 for 1 today. And a strikeout on the 3-2 pitch. The 3rd strikeout of the day for considerations. Anchorage 4th goes very quickly as the Wheelers go down in order. Top of the 5th now. Hernandez. Base hit into right. They'll be on board with a single. Super Sneck. It's going to shallow grounder back to the pitcher on to second for the out. But then stealing second is Sneck. To get into scoring position. Frank flies out to center field. Now it Spikes. Runner in scoring position. 2 away for Mitchell Jr. Grounder back to the mound, over to first in time for out number 3. Tie ball game here, Chadwick, as the Anchorage Wheelers look to take the lead here in the bottom of the 5th.
All right, CB3 will face cash considerations for the first out. EVC will get a base hit to the left. 1 on, 1 out for Giannoulis, who is on fire, but will ground out into fielder's choice and get the lead runner. And it'll be up to Plainview. 2 outs, 1 on. 2-strike pitch will be wild. Why did the runner run? I don't understand what happened there. 43 will get the ball over the head of 1 run score, 2 runs will score. Still don't understand how the runner went to first. I guess it was a drop 3rd strike, I guess is what they're calling. Hartman will strike out 2-2. And Anchorage will get 2 runs to take a lead here to go up 5-3. Newfan lead it off against Mitchell. Going to ground out to the pitcher. Who almost threw that ball away. Reeves will hammer one out of here into left field. Bass Reeves make it a 1-run ball game. 5-4 in favor of Anchorage. Scott will step in now. And will ground out to the shortstop. 2 down. Sporgler, the DH, will ground out 4-3, but the Firehawks get back a run. It's a 1-run ball game. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 7-8-9 for the Wheelers. Trantow will get a leadoff single to left. Facing Capsian Shrub, the new pitcher. Lee. Oh, they had a double play set up, but he dropped the ball. It's an error. Runners at first and second for Danks, who's going to bloop on the right. Now the bases are loaded with no outs. For Cameron Bailey, the third, who hammers one in the center. Runner will tag and score. 6-4 now. Favor of the Wheelers. EVC, 1 on, 2 out. Will take a 3-0 walk. Bases loaded. Giannis. Infield in. And a great move. Will get the force out at home. 2 outs. Bases still loaded. And they'll get out of it. So great job defensively by the Firehawks. Bases loaded. Only give up 1 run. They're still in this ball game. Top of the 7th. Smalls will lead it off against Mitchell. Smalls will get a base hit to left. Hernandez, the third baseman, will hammer one, but caught deep left center field. Snake will get an infield single. He'll beat it out. Runners in first and second now for Frank, who will go on the fielder's choice. The pitcher will throw to second. They're cornered for Spikes. The Spikes will fly out to center, and it will remain a 2-run ball game. To the bottom of the 7th, 43 facing Kirk Biglet. It's going to ground out 4-3. Hartman, the DH, steps in and hits on the right. 2 gone. Trantow, who's on a cold streak, will remain cold. No, he's got some speed. He put on the hyper burners. Lee will get a base hit now. So the runners at first and second for Danks, who will draw a walk. Cameron Bailey, while the bases loaded to 2 outs. And he will ground out. So they get out of that jam. Now they need some runs through the Firehawks. Down 2. They need to chip away. They need a run here. It would be very helpful. Newfan will lead it off against Jake Mitchell. He's going to ground out 4-3. They'll bring up Reeves, who homered earlier. And this time he's going to get... No, he's going to get the single. Second baseman kept the ball in the infield, and Scott, oh my goodness! I thought that was out, but the runner will tag from first to second. Splorger will fly out to left. And I tell you, the Firehawks were a foot away from tying this game up. Wow. Bottom of the 8th, EVC take a leadoff walk against Dusty Conklin. Giannis will hammer one to left. Base hit. Runners at first and second for Plainview. Plainview will hit one, and it will be caught in the corner there. Wow. That little jut out. Left fielder will catch the ball from 43, 2 down. Hartman will hit it to opposite field, but right at the right fielder, and the Firehawks stay alive there, shut that down. They need 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead. It will be Smalls facing Aiden Wyatt. Smalls will get a leadoff single. Whoa! And he tried to stretch it into a double, and he gets pickled out. Oh my goodness, Hernandez will strike out. Still can't believe that, wow. 2 outs now for Snake. They need something, some magic here. Snake will draw a walk. Can Frank keep this going against Aiden Wyatt? He'll hit it to right field, but it will be caught. And your Minor League World Series will be the Dogs of Anchorage facing the Hepcats. It will be a dog and cat battle. Wow. I still can't believe that pickle. Holy moly. For Anchorage, multiple RBI games from Bailey and 43 with 2 and 3 respectively. For the Firehawks, they had RBI efforts from Reeves without solo home run, as well as Scott, Smalls, and Newfan. Pitching wise, Maddox and cash considerations. Maddox will take a no decision. Cash considerations, unfortunately, will get the loss. Mitchell Jr. will get the win out of the bullpen. Wyatt the save. And your player of the game is going to be Bass Reeves. But wow, that could have gone either way there. That was a pretty wild game.
Absolutely it was. So we have the Wheelers versus the Hepcats and the Sloths versus the Apex in the World Series. Both will be broadcast this Saturday. We'll take a look at the series MVPs for both of these. We got David Doug for the Kansas City Hepcats as they advance to the World Series, and Ted Giannoulis for the Wheelers in the minor leagues. For the major leagues, we have Jacques Hammer for the Sloths, and the Apex D. Fernandez, your series MVP. So congratulations to all 4 of those players. But we're just about done here. We'll go ahead and save and start the upload.
We have a question before you do that.
Sure.
Want to know what was the left on base total for that last minor league game?
Let's see. It was 28 for Anchorage, 26 for California.
Wow.
Both teams left a lot.
That's a
on
large
base
number.
paths. 9
Holy
for
moly.
Plainview. That's wow.
54 in total? Jeez.
So plenty of opportunities in that game.
Crazy.
That was wild. All right, so that's going to do it for us today. Big thank you to all of you in chat for sticking around to this point. Big thank you to our mods for moderating tonight and doing those predictions. And, of course, a big thank you to you as well, Chadwick, for co-hosting tonight.
Thank you. And I just pulled up the schedule. So if you're looking forward to Saturday, as this loads, June 1st. So we'll be into June, believe it or not. And it will be Rabid Sponge. Will be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Will be your Minors World Series. And then Majors World Series will just be a few hours later, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And it'll be Moosey and Don Marcus guiding you to see who will be crowned world champions.
Yep, and we got Prospect League in between as well. Prospect League tomorrow, May 31st, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Nosbase will be taking through that. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday of next week, we will also be having Prospect League games as well. And then before you know it, Thursday, June 6th, will be the Majors Draft. Boy, that's coming up quick, actually. That's a week from today. So I'll be seeing you all then for that. It will be my first Majors Draft in 3 seasons. Because I think Nosbase did season 46, and then Moosey did it this season, so it'll be interesting. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I had to change the time. 9 p.m. That's for the Prospect League EVC. World Series is still 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. It's the Prospect League tomorrow. The time is changing to 9. So Saturday, Minor League World Series at 1 p.m. Majors World Series 6 p.m. Those are likely not changing, but keep an eye on game day just in case. And one last thank you that I want to distribute to Enoch for all the help with the sim today, for the moving of games and the changing of games. So much appreciated, Enoch. Always a great help, and it's always very comforting to have Enoch on standby, ready to help out with anything. So big shout out to you, Enoch. Much love. But that's it for us. I don't think we have anything else to really talk about, unless you have something, Chadwick.
No, I don't. As I said, that was very entertaining stream, and it only went about 2.5 hours, which is good, right? We don't ever want to see the Max Payne scenario.
Yeah, 16 games possibility. We wound up with 6, which is just a little bit over the usual stream, and we still finished. We're still probably going to finish under 3 hours. I doubt the upload is going to take 18 minutes, but maybe it will. Who knows? Let me go ahead and update put in our pay as well. But yeah, 6 games in a possible 16 game stream is always good.
It is appreciated. Yeah, so I guess the other thing I'll say, it is championship week, so make sure you're in on your championship week tasks, right? Get those 10 TPE for the week. Always fun, the crazy things they have in there. Different little activities you can do, so make sure you're up on that so you can add on to your claims at the end of the year.
Is that why you hopped on the co-host for this night, was to avoid doing the championship week?
It's helpful. But I also like
nice
working
part.
with you.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate
So
that.
yeah, it's fun. I think the semifinals stream is the funnest stream. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's always fun to do. So it's great to have you be a part of it. So thank you for that. But yeah,
Yeah, just the tasks are fun, but they don't take 2.5 hours to do.
it's true. Yeah,
So I put my time in.
they're a little bit quicker to do the championship week, but you got to be a little more creative than just calling balls and strikes, you know.
True.
So, but always a nice perk to be able to just call it on the championship week and be like, we did the job, we did the work, put in the work to help the league. Ask the booth, how many Smiths were spotted tonight? 0 Smiths were spotted tonight. We had a few Schmidts, I think, but no Smiths for the semifinals. Chadwick, are you aware of the whole Smith shenanigans that happened a few seasons back?
No, I'm not. So that's I'm not aware of this inside joke.
So I don't even know if chat knows about it too much. It wasn't really that well publicized, but there was a stream. It was I think it was 2 seasons ago, maybe 2 or 3 seasons ago. I don't remember, but there was a stream that I was about to do for it's just a regular season stream, I think. But I download the league file, get it all set up. I'm about to go live, and I glance over at the OOTP out of the park baseball screen, and all of a sudden I noticed something odd. I noticed that there's a player on one of the teams with the last name Smith, and I'm like, well, that's weird. I don't think there's any Smiths in the major leagues at this time. Maybe there is, but I wasn't aware of them. And then all of a sudden I look a little bit closer and I see Smith, and I'm looking around and I see at least like 8 or 9 last name Smiths with different first initials. And I'm like, this doesn't seem right. And so I go into a roster of one of the teams that I know. I think it was the team that I was on at the time. I think it was the Sloths at the time. And so I go into the Sloths roster and I notice about half of the players have their last name changed to Smith. And I was just like, this doesn't seem right.
Not good.
So I immediately start pinging people in the sim cord, and I'm like, guys, I just sent a screenshot of just all the Smiths on the Sloths team, and I'm like, this isn't right. So we had to scramble and figure out what went wrong. I don't think we ever figured out what exactly went wrong, but we had the previous person who went in for updates, I think it was Poe, re-upload the file from their end, and then we made additional error changes. And I looked it up later, and apparently this is a bug that occasionally can happen with OOTP. That there have been reports about multiple players have their last name Smith. And so the Smithening was a little inside joke among some members of the stream team where we just often reference the Smiths as something that happened in the file, and it hasn't happened since, luckily. But it was just a really weird and quirky thing that happened, just a random bug. So it was just really weird and threw me off guard.
Yeah, I'd be freaking out too.
Yeah, so if you ever hear about the Smithening, I know Nasbase likes to reference it. Some other people in the streamer Discord like to mention it too. Enoch maybe occasionally does. I think maybe Parkwad mentioned it a couple of times as well. It was always a fun thing to bring up, the Smithening of the file. Luckily, we were able to save it. I cannot imagine having to go through and change all of the last names for half the league back to what they originally were. Could have been a lot worse. Anyway, how are you tonight, chat? Anyone have any more Ask the Booths for us? Chadwick, you got anything fun planned for the upcoming weekend?
Yeah, I'll just do this because Nasbase and I talked about it on the Prospect League stream earlier in the week. Tomorrow starts the College World Series playoffs, or not the World Series, but the drive to Omaha. So regionals start tomorrow in college baseball, which is always very exciting.
Nice. Well, that should be fun. EVC is hyped for their first World Series. It's always good to see. I look forward to the day when my player is in their first World Series. I'm on my third player. I've never made it. But we'll get there one day. One day we will. But enjoy EVC. Hopefully your team gets some good sim luck and you're able to enjoy the World Series regardless of result. I was taking a little while. May the RNG be ever in your favor. Exactly, yeah. The RNG. So this is as mentioned, Hepcats, last time they were in the World Series was when they won it in Season 39. Wheelers, last time they were in it was when they won it in Season 44. So it's been 3 seasons for the Wheelers, 8 seasons for the Hepcats. For the Apex, Season 28 was both when they won it and when they last appeared in it. Sloths, for them it was Season 30. When they last won and when they were last in the World Series. So it's been a while for most of these teams. The only one that's been in it even fairly recently was the Wheelers. I should look at the Hepcats versus Wheelers head-to-head on the season and see what it shows. I think I actually... Did I do that? No, I looked at the Wheelers Hepcats. Tie with the same record for the league. Hepcats? Wait. Oh, yeah, Hepcats Wheelers. Yeah, the Hepcats had the advantage on the head-to-head. That's why they got the first seed. I don't remember exactly what the total was, but I remember that the... Did I say the Hepcats? I meant the Wheelers. Wheelers had the number 1 seed.
Yes.
And so they had the advantage on the head-to-head over the Hepcats. I don't remember the exact totals. I want to say it was like 8-6. I don't even know how many times each of the minor league teams play the other minor league teams. I should know that, but I don't. Let me pull up the... Well, it's updated, the index, I think. All right, so Wheelers 2-1 over the Hepcats. 3-3. 4-5-4. 6-7-5. 7-5. Wheelers have the Wheelers won the season series 7-5 over the Hepcats. All right, I think we are updated.
Looks that way.
Yep, looks good to me. Index is updated. Let me go ahead and let everyone know in game day, and then we should be good to call it quits for the night. Let's see. Paste the link, and there we go. All right, well, hope to see everyone here on Saturday for the Minor League World Series and the Major League World Series. Hope you all have a great Friday. Be sure to tune in for Prospect League tomorrow night as well. And have a good weekend as well. Take care, everyone.